And I believe, Captain, I've actually given you a log for once.
Let me just scroll up to find it. Captain's log, stardate 60716.5. It has been 20 days since the impoundment of the U.S.S. Achilles, and the staff, or senior staff, has been taken into the custody of Admiral Yadon of the Icebreaker. We are to be transported from Narendra to Starbase 24 to face charges of dereliction of duty and to provide evidence and report to the First Committee of the Federation Council regarding the Al-Karen and Aldemona-led policy of adherence to the Codex. Each of the crew has been confined to quarters, save for questioning by Starfleet Security and Intelligence. And we are all under strict orders to not speak to each other regarding the case. But it appears they've been given free time and use of the replicators, so some joys. The last 10 days have been relatively calm, moving back through Federation space, but there has been occasions of yellow alerts followed back to green. With the increased tensions with the Klingons and the Romulans, things do seem a little off, but until the commanders of the ship and the committee decide we're to be informed of anything, we are left in the dark. End log.
This is a 2-threat game. And we cut to one of the many quarters dotted about the ship. This one assigned about midships of the saucer of the Galaxy class you're on. And
I'm sorry. This was the U.S.S. Icebreaker?
yes,
Okay, and which class was it?
Galaxy.
Okay. Thank you.
Don't see those.
Do these get window seats?
Yeah.
Every seat's a window.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, they could have stopped.
Yes.
What is this weird robotic language you speak?
Yeah, got nothing there, bud.
Nope. Didn't get a single word of that.
I concur.
We cut to Commander Aza, Counselor Aza, and her ward, whose token I am struggling to grab. There he is.
Oh, don't tell me they put us in a room with only one bed?
Well, they put us in a room with my bed and your chair.
There's a little bit here that folds out. You can pull out a pull-out bed. This is the standard one that's always there, but there's one that kind of folds in here.
Well, that's very useful to know. Taben, I know the situation has been hard, but have you been keeping up with your studies?
Well, I haven't had much in the way of assignments from my teacher because they're somewhere in space. But I have been trying to find a couple of books about the things Commander Thralick talked about.
Re-jog my memory. What did Commander Thralick talk about?
Thralick taught a seminar on military history. Early Federation military history, pre-Federation.
Most of it I can't remember, but she did talk about some pretty cool battles with swords on this ice thing in Andoria. They had like hooks and trained seals, maybe battle seals.
I'm sure I can find a very interesting video on the military history of Andoria, because the last time I checked, that's all Andorians like to talk about.
Yep. Tabin doesn't say anything, but that seems like it tracks. He knows one Andorian, and that Andorian talked about war.
All right. Asa will search for a history documentary on Andorian military history to keep him entertained.
Control, science, or con, difficulty 1. The ship will assist you. I'll try to anyway.
Space Netflix is very big these days.
Just make sure you turn on your VPN so you can get Andoria's channels.
I'm sorry, you said insight science, or what was the skill you listed?
Control.
Control. Thank you.
You know,
Actually, you know what?
channels,
Reason would work. I take that back. Reason would work better. Reason
Andoria's
plus
channels
science or command.
are just going to be all about their greatest hits against the Vulcans.
Computers plus.
I mean, there are
science.
many.
Seems a little bit distasteful in the modern day, but okay.
There you go.
Yeah, like I don't think.
Okay, Tabin, I will let you watch this documentary, but if and only if you promise me that you will keep up with your mathematics and science studies.
That was another thing I think I remember Commander Thralic saying was that, good leaders know multiple skills.
Yes, you must know how to count and multiply if you want to be a good military leader. And you have to know many scientific concepts.
When to fold them, when to hold them.
When to walk away.
Sorry.
Well, Tabin, I don't mean to push. It's just that many people on our planet did not have access to any form of education. So you must understand how valuable your opportunity here is. No matter how dire our situation is, you must create a better future for yourself.
I thought I would know more about war if I grew up on Bajor.
Tabin, the things you would know growing up on Bajor in the past are not things that children should know.
That's definitely something I need to look up then.
Tabin?
And from there, we cut to a new scene. Oh, not new scene. Sorry, we cut away. No, it's a new scene. I'm right.
Okay. Can I do one thing?
Only one thing, though. Go ahead.
Can I make sure that Tabin's account or pad or whatever has a rigorous child protective lock, and he's not about to look at, photos of war crimes by searching around?
You could do an opposed roll and try to make sure he's locked out if he tries to break through it, because you don't have command codes on the ship. In a pinch, you could also inform the science officer of the ship, like, hey, could you do me a favor for my kid real quick and just use your code to lock him out? Like, okay, I can do that.
Okay.
The science officer doesn't mind helping people with education. It's like, oh yeah, sure, that's part of my job. I mean, it won't be the science officer, it'll be one of their juniors, but the science department will handle it.
In that case, you can cut away.
Appreciate your permission.
Welcome.
And then we cut to Ensign Ven. You get a smaller quarter because, well, you're a junior officer. You don't get the nicer room.
have a window.
In fact, over the first 10 days, it was a little bit of a surprise that you were the senior most officer, and then they looked over your the science complement of your of the Achilles and went, "Oh, that makes sense." Of course, an ensign runs that department. Though they haven't realized that you just became an ensign like this year. That hasn't come up yet because that wasn't really relevant to operations. They're like, "Okay, what are you? You're a junior officer.
This
But
year.
you're senior."
More like this
year,
month.
more like this quarter.
It's quarter, yeah. It's like, oh, okay, well, you're an ensign. Yeah, you get junior officer quarters, but you're an officer, full-fledged one. You get your own room. Also, because you're under house arrest, so you don't get to share bunks. Because you're not supposed to be with somebody unless it's family or something. What are you doing? Or what have you been doing?
I think Ben has probably been writing letters home, if those are allowed.
They're allowed. They'll be screened, obviously, but
yes. But yeah, I figure mom and dad back on Earth and Earth space stock probably want to know that I'm okay. I'm back, and things have gotten really complicated. I'm not at liberty to talk about it, but I presume I'm not at liberty to talk about it.
It is frowned upon to talk about an ongoing case. And would you have consulted a JAG officer in the last 10 days?
Would he have? Yeah, probably.
A JAG officer would tell you it's not wise to talk about an ongoing case. It
Yup.
could hurt your defense in some way, and it's better. I mean, if you want to, they won't stop you. If there's no law against it, it's just not a good idea. Because it could be used against you if there's anything at all damaging, and you don't know what can be damaging. That's why you're not a lawyer. That's why they're the lawyer. Let them deal with it.
I am not Grennan. Got it.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah, I can't really talk about it right now. But what else is new? But you know, it's. I just want to let you know that I'm alive and okay. Because I know this can be a dangerous job, and I know you worry about.
Insight, command, or science difficulty too. As over the last 10 days, you start getting a feel for how the messages are being handled and stuff.
You said insight, command, or what?
Or science.
Science it is. Spending that momentum for a third die.
Okay.
This is not a comp range 3. Thank you very much.
I mean, it can be.
Nope. Actually, that burned that momentum.
You're given estimates about how long it's going to get there, and that's normal, especially when you're a guest and they, because you're not the one sending it. Operations is sending it for you, or the engineering department in particular. But usually there's a special ops guy that handles that sort of stuff. Security might handle it. Security has to look at your stuff anyway, but they don't tell you how long it's going to be because they wouldn't know. That's what the comms guy would know. And they give you estimates, and I mean they're fairly long, which makes sense. You are going through Klingon space. So there's going to be another layer of security. So it does take a little bit longer to go through the subspace network to get back to Beta Z, I presume? Earth. No, you grew up on Earth, didn't you?
Yeah, yep.
Run. So getting all the way to Earth. So because they're allies, you do share networks. So it does go pretty fast, but it does slow down because the KDF's going to check it as it goes into their system. They're going to check it again when it leaves your system to make sure no one's make sure you're not saying anything that you shouldn't say about the Klingon Empire or their strength or whatever, like operational security, but also making sure no one used your message as an excuse to tag on information. But so there's a bit of a delay, you know that, but you start doing the math, and math kind of comes off odd to you. Like it seems like it's taking longer than it should. And at first you don't, it doesn't quite jump at you what it is, and then you remember something from class that during the Dominion War there was a glut of Klingon intelligence scanning everything and sometimes denying messages. until the period of time where the Klingons and the Federation were kind of on the same page, but when they were kind of at odds with each other, there was a significant delay to the point that it was almost faster to have your message on a transport and have the transport get there. Like, it's not quite to that level, but the numbers add up the same way. No one says anything to you. It's just you do the math and go, wait a minute. It shouldn't take quite that long.
Okay, I'm gonna roll to see if I can't get a bonus die for some questions. Sweet, that is a bonus die for a question. Like what kind of difference in time are we talking here? Is this like it's supposed to take a couple of hours and it's taking many hours, or it's supposed to take a day but it's taking a day and a half? Like what? Like
it's the difference between it taking, instead of it taking about 53 minutes, it's to get through the system. It's going to take anywhere between 22 hours to 2 days.
Oh,
like that's
yeah.
So it's a big jump. That implies that it's not that it's being stopped at each of the relay stations, or at least one relay station. Because normally, if it's just relaying, it just pings around like a ping pong ball.
And my guess is that it's doing this not because there's anything inherently suspicious about my message, but that they're doing this to every message.
Yeah, if they're doing one, because sometimes it's a random audit, but like your message, you'd expect it to take maybe an hour. Like in Federation, it'd take 53 minutes. But in Klingon space, about an hour and a half, maybe, just because they're being picky. But 22 hours? That's silly. That's silly.
Yeah, and I've also been sending a few messages back and forth by this point. So
yeah, like once in a while, maybe there was an audit by the intelligence for whatever reason, but it happening over the course of 10 days over and over, that's weird.
Like every single time. Okay, yeah, something's going on with the. Okay. Well, that's interesting. I can't really do anything about that right now, though. I'm not the security person, and I'm not really supposed to talk with him right now, because, as mentioned, we're not supposed to be talking to each other right now.
Or about the case.
About the case. Okay.
You can still talk to each other and have, like, conversations, just not about the charges and shit.
Yeah, and you know those conversations, the conversations between each other, they'd be monitored. That's kind of why they're doing it this way, so you can't talk about stuff you're not supposed to.
Yeah, that's also my concern, is that if this is being monitored, might not be the best idea to talk about it right now, just because what I'm figuring whatever this is probably something intelligence related. This has something to do with either the Federation intelligence networks or the Klingon intelligence networks. And I get the distinct impression that talking about this while being monitored by, Starfleet security might not be the best call at this exact moment. But good to know.
One thing you could do, right? You could get your JAG officer involved in this, because Starfleet's not going to be able to legally monitor that conversation.
Yeah, they're not allowed.
So, and you can probably get your JAG to shoot down this whole thing if y'all can't talk about the case because of discovery and stuff, but
yeah,
that may take effort.
So actually, that might be a good idea. So I think Ven will reach out to his JAG officer, whomsoever that may be.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to say without putting all the cards on the table, he'll explain to whoever his JAG guy is that, hey, I've been noticing this weird thing with, like, communications times, and I think something's up.
You're right to suspect that, Ensign. Yeah. At present, we're moving through a bit of space that is... The Klingons are having an internal matter, and we are... Not to alarm you, but it looks like a civil war is on the horizon. They did just have a new chancellor, and it looks like some houses are going to say no. So I imagine different
New
lords
chance.
and governors are, yeah. Oh, you might not have heard Governor Martok, Governor Chancellor Martok died of a heart attack about 20 days ago, 10 days ago, about a month, almost a month
Oh
ago.
wow.
Yeah.
Who's in charge now?
Oh, I forget the name now. Hold on, I'll look it up for you. 1 second.
It depends on who you ask.
Or at the very least, who's in the running? If you said a
Uh,
civil war's on the horizon.
it is Chancellor Quinta. Never heard of him before. But well, that's just long and short of it. So if your messages get slowed down, that's normal. Just don't say anything bad about Klingons. Honestly, that's my only suggestion to you.
Okay.
No comment. No, I wouldn't. I would advise you not to comment on the political situation here. You won't get in trouble on this ship, but some hot-headed officer may take offense to your commentary, academic or
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. Well, it's really not. Geopolitics really isn't my area of study.
It's all a headache anyway.
Yeah, interstellar politics really is not my area of study. But I might at least. I don't know. Would there be anything wrong in informing my captain of this development? I know he likes to keep apprised of this kind of stuff.
If he doesn't know already, yeah, that's it's not related to the case. That's just current events. If you're watching the Federation News Network, you'd probably see it being talked about anyway. Assuming we still get that channel right now. I haven't checked. Hold on. I don't think we get it anymore because they probably jam it. Yeah, they jam it. You gain more momentum because the person actually succeeded at looking it up.
Neat.
Actually, the ship might help. You might get a bonus out of this. Hold on. The benefit of a person actually being
the ship complicated.
an allied NPC may be helping. Hey, you get another one.
Cool. Alrighty. Well, I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't stepping in anything messy. Because I figured this could be something on the Klingon end, but if it was something on the Federation Starfleet end, I didn't know if I was getting in trouble by pointing it out.
No, you can point it out. It's fine. I mean, we're going to be involved anyway. To be honest with you, Ensign. I mean, we're always involved, whatever it is the Klingons are up to. So, but that's not your problem for now. You just need to focus on your case and keeping your nose out of trouble. I mean, be apprised of the news. That's fine, but don't.
Yep.
No heroics. Don't jump. Don't. Okay, just stay out of trouble. Keep your head down.
Ben just leans back in his chair and he says, "Yeah, nope, that's not me. I am the least heroic person that you're gonna meet. Wait."
That's sad.
That is an odd thing to brag about, Ensign, but to each their own. Infinite diversity and all that. Have a good day, Ensign.
And the moment he leaves, Ven just slaps his forehead. Goes, "Least heroic person you know?" Gets up, goes over to his terminal, taps at a button, and sees if he can't get a communication to the captain.
You see a image of Starfleet security and a little text warning of this messages may be monitored for the purposes of maintaining security and intelligence. Be aware of this, yada yada yada.
Yep. I'm gonna read through it, make sure that there's nothing that I'm not waiving any. I mean, I'm sure I'm waiving some rights by doing it, but I want to make sure that
Reason command difficulty 2.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Gonna take a momentum.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's 2 hits.
You read through the warning. It's a standard warning you'd probably give to a prisoner aboard or someone who's under arrest or something like that, or just under suspicion. You you're going to be monitored, and hey, we're alert. We're not hiding that you're being monitored. We have to, by law, we have to tell you that we're doing it.
Yep.
We can't just do that randomly. But however, there's a little extra rider in there. It cites which parts of the charter it's using, which that's normal because under what authority can you do this? Oh, under that authority. Okay, never mind. But there's a certain one of the a couple of them like even as an ensign, it's something you would have been. It's like they're test questions.
Yes.
When if ever can you bug a Federation citizen? Well, under this section, under this power, yada yada. Yes, I know that one. If someone's under charges, yada yada, or someone's a security risk, yada. What's that one? You have to think about it for a second. Like, the hell's that one about? It's one of the lower ones. Something about the committees. When you think about it, and it has something to do with, you couldn't quote it off the top of your head at the moment, but you remember it has something to do with the first committee, with the military committee. So something to do with military level secrets. So there's a Secrets Act in effect. Something you're basically bound under not just criminal codes and Starfleet regulation codes, but by Federation secrecy acts, which that's almost never used. It's used for very, very rarely because it's a very powerful thing it's a committee move, and the committee doesn't like coming down on high like that because it's a little.
Okay, I'm gonna spend a momentum. What kind of issues might be at play if they're putting in that kind of a warning?
Safety and security of the United Federation of Planets, safety and security of the more than 1 million citizens of the Federation, safety and security of operational assets exceeding a scale 2 vessel, no older than 5 years. So like high tech stuff's like that's like ship secrets or something like that. Like it's either a lot of people are in danger or something very important's in danger.
We cover like half of those.
Yeah. So Starfleet ships run into that one. Rarely, usually that sort of act is something it's not something you guys would ever invoke. That's a committee thing. Like the military committee tags it and goes, nope, that is a big old. The first committee doesn't usually get personally involved with matters unless it's to that scale. It has to be big enough that they care.
Yeah, I could see that being the case with us because we're the senior staff of the Achilles, and the amount of information we know could have to do with the Alcaran tech that was on board. Okay, that tracks. I'll agree to it because what I want to talk to Pend about has nothing to do with any of that.
Boop. And you get pinned on screen, presumably.
Captain.
He has a window room.
Yeah, of course he does. Yeah, Pend, you see Ven in like this tiny little cramped officer's room.
Oh no, you've taken me away from such a scenic view. How will I ever cope?
So, Captain.
Yes.
I'll make this quick. I've been sending some messages home, just, chatting with family, what have you. And I noticed something with transmission times for messages to get back to Earth. And I kind of realized that it would probably have to do with, traveling through Klingon space and how they're being monitored. And I asked my representative about what's going on outside, and apparently things are heating up with the Klingons right now.
Wait, you got a JAG officer?
Yeah.
There's always something going on with the Klingons, don't worry too much.
I mean, the Chancellor's dead.
On purpose?
I don't think so, but right now I think it's...
What Klingon has
we
a heart
might
attack?
be in one of those situations. I think
on purpose.
might be in one of those situations of the Chancellor is dead, long live the Chancellor. I don't know.
Well, the Klingons usually, well, they like change, they don't like change. We'll probably end up having to getting involved somehow.
I don't know. But I figured you should know, might want to chat about that with the relevant people eventually. Klingon Affairs is your bailiwick, Captain, but I thought you should know.
I do not agree with that statement. I definitely do not have Klingon affairs.
That's Varder.
Yes.
Okay, well, do with it what you will, Captain.
Well, for now, I'll probably go back to looking at my fantastic scenic view until I'm called for another interview.
Thank you, Captain.
Goodbye, Ensign, as he ends the call.
And with that, new scene.
I mean, is he dead on purpose is a legitimate thing. Like, did someone actually kill him, or did he die by his own misfortune?
I know what you meant. It sounded like it was. Did he die from the way it sounded like it was Martok's choice?
Yeah, did he just
Did
decide to lie
Martok die
down?
out of spite?
Yeah. Did he
It
die
felt like a
spite,
Monty
yeah.
Python bit. Was it on purpose? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I try for comedy, it doesn't always hit.
I mean, it's very likely in Klingon circles that a warrior of a certain age actually does die intentionally.
It's true.
He's not that old, though.
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
but in Corbyverse, he's been nearly burned to a crisp more than once.
That's in any verse, really.
Everyone likes to pick on Martok. Lieutenant Ryloff, you have a window seat because you're a senior security officer.
Oh, hey, look at that.
For the blurb, I would check the pin because that's what's happened in the last few days.
Having a window seat is not paranoia inducing to a Romulan at all. That was blah 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 blah. Confined to quarters, great.
Confined to quarters, can't investigate your missing fellow Romulan.
Yeah. I'm guessing that also means I can't make inquiries about the one that's on the ship that we know is still there. Right? No, she was still on the ship. She's not part of the investigation. That's yeah, okay. That would be a try to contact her, but I don't think I can. But you know.
Well, no. Remember, she was She was among the missing.
No, not Efrix. The Republic one.
The sub-commander.
Oh, sub-commander. She would have been taken into onto Starbase. Or she'd be with the ship still until the diplomatic. Well, actually, no. She has a whole new problem because she's now a fugitive. Yeah, she's a fugitive. So
yeah,
she's basically taking asylum. Actually, you know what? Would you push for her to be taken from Ranger Station back to the core systems in the Federation? Because Icebreaker's heading toward the core systems. That's its destination. But or they can make it an Ranger problem.
That does seem like a better and safer place to go.
And they're going through Klingon space to do it, so...
Yes, however, it's better going through Klingon space briefly than being stuck on the edge of Klingon and Romulan space.
Yeah.
As someone that is a target.
Yes. Yeah, they'll bring her aboard under flag of asylum. They don't mind doing that. The admiral does not mind doing that at all. He's like, yeah, sure.
I was like, great, given she was just helping us.
Yeah, that's part of his thing. He's like, hey, you vouch for her? I vouch for her. All right. Well, that's
great.
Good enough for me. Let's go.
Yes, let the Romulan vouch for another Romulan. What can go wrong?
Oh. Well, you actually have a decent reputation, don't you?
I do, despite
you-
Brennan.
Rep
It's a 5.
4? 5? Yeah, rep 5. Yeah, the Admiral would not fight you on rep 5. He'd be like, you vouch for it's Ramen. Anyone says a bad thing about this Ramen, I'll have words with them personally.
Yeah. Again, that matters probably contacting her and talking with her and be like, okay, so here's how it had to go for me. Um, the manner of walk her through that, but also, in the very Romulan way of, I'm trying to care, but I'm not saying it. You know what I'm on
So
about?
you're trying to brief her on what you know.
No. To an extent,
Homework?
yes. She knows what I know because she helped me decode it.
Oh. So you're talking
But
about
part of it is
Sub-Lieutenant.
walking her through the process that's now in front of her, partially, because that's going to be something new. But also
well,
reassuring her.
let's put it this way. Who is going to be controlling Tel Aura for the time being? Because Ralph is going to be interacting with her for in a prolonged manner.
Oh boy.
A role that's somewhat important. Who volunteers for tribute?
I'll volunteer myself for tribute.
There you go.
Oh boy. She's
Fucking
under science,
nerd.
by the way.
Yep.
And I'll share with you what only she knows.
Well, what she
and you're gonna
knows
find
and
out
what
why.
Love knows. Yeah.
Yeah.
He knows some things.
Do. 1 second. I have to copy pasta.
God, I'm sitting like a good 5 feet away from my screen, and I read exotic as esoteric for a second.
Same difference.
Why? So, why exactly is she on the run?
You're about to find out.
Romulan
You're about to
Republic.
find out.
You will find out. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I saw the first line of that.
Yeah.
Oh, got it. Understood.
Yeah, everything's gone to
Add
shit.
a little bit more as to why last episode I was saying Ryloth mad.
Uh-huh.
Mad. Does that add a little bit more onto that?
Yeah, it does.
I love
it does.
Angie.
Angie.
Very. Very, with good reason.
Yes. There's much Angie there.
The one thing you would know, actually, before you continue talking to her, now that I just thought about it, is you would know that you're. Oh wait, no, you're still under house arrest. Your communications are monitored by Starfleet security to ensure you're not planning your escape or trying to leak out information or anything like that.
Yeah, but we're also used to this for Romulans.
So do you want to try to?
This is a default state.
Are you speaking in code, or do you encrypt your communication some way to subvert it, or are you just speaking openly?
Yes.
Romulan can't.
It's probably, in general, speaking openly, but there's like a word here or a word there that's just, it means something else.
Presence plus security. Difficulty, you're setting it. And Talar, of course, can assist because Talar, without having to roll, immediately knows when you're talking secretively. That's just Romulans just know that between each other.
Yeah, she actually has a thing I can add. I just forgot to add it last week. Whoops. But
you set the diff. That's the diff I have to shoot for my security guy to try to pierce through whatever the hell you're talking about.
Okay. I'm paranoid. That's still a trait.
That helps.
Okay.
You get a free hit for that.
I am inscrutable.
You get 2 hits, damn it.
I do also, however, have the trait of defector.
That pulls one of your hits away.
Yeah.
And another one of your hits gets pulled away because this is a Starfleet security vessel, not exploration. So they're used to intelligence and stuff.
Well,
this is also
there's
also a special operations vessel and a first committee chartered vessel, but only the security part matters.
Yeah. So we're breaking even at the moment.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't
Which
get
is
any bonuses though. Darn it! I was going like, haha! I have a bunch of pluses. Like, no, I don't.
And it's like, it's the Romulan. He's not even meant to do sneaky shit. He's just a Romulan. Okay, and then I've got a paranoia focus
Which applies, yeah.
and guerrilla tactics.
I
Less
take it
guerrilla
at a
tactics, honestly. Yeah.
I would take it at
Paranoia.
complication.
I'll just go with
Paranoia applies better
Yeah.
though.
And constantly watching wouldn't apply because it's not to detect danger or anything.
No.
Sorry, I'm also still figuring out this. I've got the most jank sit up right now. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sitting on the floor because my desk didn't show up. I've got the chair, I just don't have a desk, so I've got nowhere to put it. I could be sitting in the chair and I'd be way above my setup, which is currently on 2 plastic totes in the living room. Because nothing
college
arrived.
core.
Like, we got to the place where it's like, yeah, the stuff should be here today, and then they were like, oh, we've delayed it.
We'll be here Tuesday.
Yeah, so that doesn't work. Blah blah blah. I don't think I have that focus right now anyway. Not that it matters. We'll go with a 5 because why not Unga Bunga?
Okay.
I believe no, I don't have any of those. We'll do. You said presence?
Presence, yep.
Alright. Yeah, sure, I'll give you 6.
Okay.
I like fun. Okay.
Tell her
Lovely.
may assist.
4,
Right.
5 there.
Presence. Security. Not an
You
amazing
might
roll, but
analysis.
yeah, analysis focus.
Yeah.
Alright. Any chance to swing insight instead of presence for this from the assist?
I could see the argument for the assist, yeah.
Right.
We made a moment to look at that.
No, that's setting the difficulty.
But we hit. I was setting it for 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
You call out the difficulty first, and then you try to hit it.
And then you hit it +1. So.
You are a defector, so I am going to buy 1 die. Not too, but you're rep 5, so I'm not too worried about it yet.
See, I'm paranoid. If I didn't go for 5, I wouldn't be doing my job.
The ship will help me with this. Bam. Bam. I did not make it. Carry on with your conversation.
Let's start talking about crops. Weird.
Talking about crops.
And then they check against computer base. Are those crops relevant to this time of year on that planet? Yes. Did these two memorize when crops are on certain planets? Yes, just in case.
He is actually an agricultural. Yeah, Ralph's actually an agricultural background too. On an isolated colony in the middle of nowhere, so I don't even know if that's on Starfleet records.
Yeah, that's why I picked farming.
Yeah. It probably is on records, but only from Rylov and fucking Cabal.
Yeah.
How are your crops? Plentiful.
Bountiful harvest.
A bountiful harvest.
No, crops are good. Any quests in this village? Anyway.
But yes, are your plans the obvious or anything other than such, given the recent situations?
I believe I'd like to reconnect with any other kindred souls, I suppose. But aside from that, appears that, yeah, I'm following a path very similar, although distinct from the one you followed.
A different route, the same destination, unfortunately. Though it
Exactly.
is a route that, at present, you have someone to support you with, which does make things
Do
that
I?
much. Yes.
Well, I'm glad of that much then.
I would hardly be much of a friend if I was not going to stand with you in this situation. Um, are you under the same scrutiny?
GM,
Insight security, difficulty 1.
how we're under scrutiny?
From her?
Yeah. Analysis focus?
At complication, I take it.
Cool.
Actually,
Trade Romulan for knowing when you're being surveilled.
I'll say no, and actually, I'm going to retract the analysis complication because this is over the course of 10 days. You have had at least 10 days to figure this out, so. Or 20 days, sorry. So you had like 20 days to analyze the crew to see if you're being watched or anything. Which, as a Ramen, that sounds reasonable for you to have done that.
Yeah.
Just
And
out of
also,
habit.
is she actually restricted to quarters and things like that, or, you know?
She's considered a guest. She's a person under asylum.
Yeah.
So she's not under charge or anything.
So I only rolled one die. Rolling a second die. There we go.
Lovely.
What did I say? Diff 1? Diff 2?
Yeah, diff 1.
Diff 1, yeah. So you gain momentum. Yeah, you double check to see if you're under scrutiny. The only scrutiny you're under is the same scrutiny any guest of the ship would have. They're just, I mean, obviously you can't go to the bridge or engineering, you're not crew, but you're a guest. So it's like, well, beyond that, the scrutiny would be if you went to engineering, someone in engineering would be alerted to your presence and be like, huh, what are you doing here? Go away. But other than that, you can go about the ship wherever you want.
Yeah.
You do know that they would be monitoring any communications you have with their prisoners, but that's a given.
Yeah.
That's why you're talking code right now. But in general, you yourself on your own are monitored.
Amazingly little.
Well, keep what you have learned from the time aboard the Achilles under your hat for now. Such things as the power supplies, information that may well be another measure of security for your status.
I had suspected as much.
As for what's going on, I'm still not fully aware. There's what we uncovered and what we apparently willingly forgot. But I
It's our
cannot tell you
choice.
entirely why. If it's a choice we made, I cannot tell you why it was made. We have not yet gone that deep, and then if we do, is it a choice we would repeat again? In a situation that seems vastly changed from the one we set out in.
It certainly happened as we've been gone.
Something is not right. Not everything lines up as it should.
Yeah, even the missing time does not account for everything that is different.
Must keep our eyes and ears open, and you have more opportunity for that than I.
We'll do what I meant. What I can.
And safely.
Probably a wry smile or
Mm-hmm.
something. Of course. When has this person ever not done something safely? Question better left unanswered.
Yeah. Well, the robot might explode when I activate it with this exotic power source, but it might not. For science.
What blast shielding's for?
Yeah, if you choose to use it.
True.
Perhaps your old senator might be someone that you can reach out to.
We'll see
If
what
they are
contacts
still
I'm
around.
able to leverage.
They may be a different view upon what has happened, given we spoke to them just before we left, and that would be the only familiar face that we've seen since returning.
Good point.
And with that, new scene. Commander Thralic, you have a room.
Oh. I'm allowed a room?
Yeah. It has a
Impressive.
sonic shower, sinks, and everything.
Alright.
And free monitoring of all your communications. Care of Starfleet Security.
Well, I haven't been communicating with anyone, so. But she's very much aware that everything is under communication. Probably had a consultation with a JAG officer the day she came aboard.
Mm-hmm. Anything
And,
particular she was checking in on? Or any advice she was seeking? Beyond the general.
um, general advice, definitely. Specifics. Honestly, she'll try to request a briefing if possible on the elapsed time.
The JAG officer is not. Will put in the request. That would be at the behest of the admiral, Admiral Yaden. But she can put it through, and then she'll probably you'll probably hear back from his staff when that briefing would be. And not long after, about maybe 5 days out, the admiral says that he intends to brief everyone more in detail once you're on the other side of Klingon space. For now, it is in his. He believes at this time it's not necessary for you to know, but he'll let you know at Starbase 24, one way or the other.
I'll accept that, and then I'll spend uh, uh, this time confined to quarters. Probably a little antsy for the first couple days, and then start to get into the rhythm of it a little bit more and dive back into some ancestral worship, which Charlotte doesn't do as much of, but is still a practitioner of. So praying to different forebears, setting out candles and such.
Give me an insight security roll, diff 3, as you center yourself and think about your ancestors and the lessons you can learn from them, and as applied to today, that sort of thing.
Focus in observation or guidance.
I'll take observation here.
A trait of calm in the storm or military family.
Military family, diff 2.
I'll buy a third die with momentum there. And roll 3.
Gain and momentum back. That feeling you have that a battle's on the horizon comes a lot more clear to you. It seems a lot more widespread. But historically, when your family went to war in times like this, it was transformative. Revolutionary is a strong word. Andorians aren't terribly fond of that word. But transformative is a lot more, because that implies control, that implies intention, rather than something from the clan on high spreading out, rather than a clanmate calling up to the head of the clan. You know what I mean? But you get the feeling that something on a higher level going down is pushing for conflict, a transformative conflict, as opposed to a conquest conflict like the Dominion War, or a territorial conflict like the Cardassian Federation Wars, so on. So humans would call this a revolutionary war of some kind is coming. But that lacks the lens that you have as a military family. Your family has been part of transformative wars before.
All right. Good to know. She'll continue through the appropriate rituals and communions over the course of a few days, I think. Just, taking this pretty seriously. And when it's done, she'll request to communicate with the captain.
Captain, you're a popular person today. You get the same warnings of this will be monitored under such and such and such and such regulations. Please be aware that this communication will be monitored, etc., etc., etc. Boop. You have Captain Penned on screen, who was enjoying the view, and you rudely interrupted him. I imagine he's very angry about it.
Oh, I'm livid. Commander, how could you draw me away from this pleasant view of warp?
So sorry to interrupt, sir. I've been meditating and communing over these last few days. And I can't shake the sense that something transformative is on the horizon.
And Pend, as for someone who's been raised through an Andorian society, you recognize what that word. You recognize the undertones of that word from an Andorian.
Well, considering there's the brewing of a civil war with the Klingons and the imps have taken control of the Romulans, something's going to happen soon.
Oh, that's some interesting information.
He purposely says that and then looks at the screen. Was I not supposed to mention that?
Nothing appears on screen.
Don't worry, if I'm suddenly whisked away within the next 2 minutes, I clearly said too much.
Someone in security's chuckling at the moment.
Right. Of course, sir. Well, it's probably just that then.
I appreciate your insights, Commander. if you feel like something's on the way, then even though we're not really in a position to aid, considering what's happening at the moment, it doesn't harm to be ready ourselves.
I'm always ready.
Well, if you receive any more revelations or inspirations, please, by all means, share them with myself and the probably 16 people listening in on this conversation. I'm sure they will appreciate it.
You think too highly of yourself, sir. I'm sure it's no more than 4.
I've got an ego to maintain.
Of course. Can't interfere with that.
Of course. But I shall leave you to your meditations, Commander. We'll end the comms.
And with that new scene,
I just fear.
man, you've been a popular person today, Pent.
Yeah, no
You've
fucking
been called
shit.
at least twice over the last couple days.
I'd like to
You
call
need
a
me to
group
give you a
call.
call as well, just to make sure you're not lonely.
If you want. I mean, I've already got a partner, so...
You get another call, though.
Oh, by all means.
And on screen, the security logo pops up, and then you get a security override, and it shows a code. It shows a code at the bottom, which, as a senior officer, you recognize it as an admiral's code. So some admiral overrode being monitored because no, you don't get to monitor me. And then you see the logo of the 10th Expeditionary Fleet Auxiliary Research and Development Fleet pop on screen, and then you see a familiar face of Admiral Trailblazer. If I can get him to show up on screen. Boop.
Hello. Is this personal or business?
Business, Pend. Business. I imagine that you are very confused and you're missing a lot of memory. And you want to be in the know, and frankly, I don't care if I'm going to get yelled at by my superiors in the PDF. I think it's better that you know what's going on than not. So... Oh, and no one's monitoring this communication. I have enough clearance that I can waive that particular thing, since frankly, this is... The matter I'm talking to you about is not terribly relevant to the first committee, but if they ask you about it, feel free to tell them to talk to me, and I'll give evidence or whatever they want.
Well, would you like me to tell you what I already know, so you don't have to tell me as much?
That'd be a good idea, yeah.
So, Klingons are about to have a civil war, the Imps have taken the Romulans, we somehow found an orb of the Parave / Reality Gate.
Incorrect.
On the Iconian vessel. Our Karen assigned to the ship is gone. The collider is gone. About give or take 100 days are gone. There's probably other things, but generally, yeah. Oh, and according to Commander Thralic, there may be a transformative battle of some form happening very soon.
That's very... It's almost all Karen of her to notice that. Neat.
She's very insightful.
Well, I'll clarify the first bit. That's you may be misinformed. Although it's understandable, given your condition at the moment. That is not it's not truly an orb of the Pirates. It's some sort of Iconian replica's the wrong word. Fabrication. Basically, they have learned of certain technologies that can manipulate reality on a certain level, much to the same tune of the Q Continuum or the Bajoran Prophets or the Reality Gate of that you may have heard about. I'm not sure if you're clear to know that or not, but you can look it up if you're
There's a couple
curious.
of them.
Yeah. So the idea, apparently you guys found that, and that got everyone here in Alcara in a hurry to your location. And primarily me, because I'm the one who needs to talk to you. And it was decided, between me and your crew, we decided that it was best to limit the information leak. Because the more people that knew about what that orb really was, the more people were likely to try to steal it. At this point, now that you're separated from it, which was not the plan,
It's still
at
on the
this point
ship.
telling you again. Well, yeah, but it's away from you. The idea for you guys was to not be separated from it, but some fool in the first committee decided to get really upset that you guys didn't respond right away. I've been trying to fight the order this whole time, but I have a conflict of interest, apparently. Which, I mean, yes, but I obey the laws. I can't lie. I can't. I always get frustrated talking to the first committee. They're just such bureaucrats sometimes. Anyway, second thing, that insights your officer has is actually the other thing I'm talking to you about. I think that the Iconians wanted to bring that orb here. That was the first thing they brought through that gate. They wanted to do something to us. But they never got a chance to use it because you stopped them. So then it raises the question, what if someone already got to it and did something? Or if one of your away team did something while in contact with the orb? If that's the case, there may be changes, grand and small, that may already be in motion.
From what we've already noticed, where for when we suddenly remembered we've forgotten things, is we're missing crew. And now, what, Chancellor Martok's dead, and the Civil War in the Romulan space is suddenly over.
That has to do with the Karens that the Iconians were able to sneak across. The one thing that Karens and Alkarans are good at, although we Alkarans frown upon such activity, but Karens do not, especially in service of the Grand Empire. They see it as I won't go into their politics, that's irrelevant. The point of it is that they would have infiltrated various government organizations to disrupt matters and weaken each of the powers that they can. So, spies, assassins, not even assassins. They don't even get that direct, but just enough to push people in the right direction. Just enough interference to cause chaos, which is easier for the Romulans and the Klingons, especially given their political situation. I would not be shocked at all if the Federation has people already. I've already talked to people intelligence. Hopefully I'm already ahead of them, but it would not shock me to think that they would be looking for you guys, because your ship's the one that stopped the invasion fleet from coming in. So they're probably going to come after the Achilles, which I'm already guarding now. I'm already here at Narendra, despite all the protestations. But until I have an order from unless I'm countermanded by Starfleet Command or on direct orders from the Council, I'm not moving from here. Because we can't leave this unguarded. Now, unfortunately, it leaves you guys unguarded, because you as the senior staff was the only ones who'd be fully abreast of what was happening on your ship. Your regular crew, given the level of security you maintain, I doubt your regular crew would be aware of ship secrets.
Well, we did have an incident before we got to Narendra, which you should probably hear about.
The one where the child interacted with the orb?
Yes, where the child somehow slipped its guardian for the third time and interacted with the orb.
I looked into him just to check if he was a changeling of some variety or shapeshifter. I made sure he's not. I even did a little time traveling just to be sure.
No, it's just a child.
That's a very inventive Bajoran child. I really underestimate Bajorans more than I should. I don't think he's a spy or anything like that. But I
No,
do think he's in danger, because if he saw the orb and they ever find out, which if someone digs around, they'll eventually figure it out with time, then he's in as much danger as the rest of you, because he knows about the orb.
I mean, the child and the counsellor believe it was an orb of the power reefs, so as long as they continue that assumption, that should suffice for now.
That should buy us time, so we don't need to correct their error. Okay, what am I missing? I know I'm missing something.
That I'm your bestest friend in the whole galaxy?
I wouldn't go that far, Pen.
Well, that just wounds me.
Oh, your Klingon friends, House of Gitta. It would seem that their solution to our problem is to do a bit of time traveling. Which normally I'm supposed to do something about that, but it just so happens that I'm too far away and I can't catch up to them. So hopefully that buys them time and their solution works. Because then that may solve both our problems and none of this will have happened in the first place. But just in case they don't, we need to prepare for the fact that we repel whatever efforts that the Karans have in the Federation, or their plans for you and your crew.
Well, with that being the case, I'll focus the JAG officers and our legal defences for the rest of the senior staff, and I'll try and draw as much unwanted attention to myself. I feel more confident that way.
I'm sorry I couldn't do more for your ship, Pend. I know it's not a great feeling to be separated from your ship, and I wish I had planned this better and kept you from being separated from the ship. I even thought about folding you into my fleet, but that would have added a whole new wrinkle to the problem. Your Admiral Grennan disappearing on us did not help us in any way. I don't know where that man is anymore.
As far as I'm
I feel like
concerned,
it was
Almost
taking
said
you
twink.
all of your willpower, Corbinian, to not say ginger twink.
Almost said twink. He's like, I don't know where that twink went off to, is what he almost said.
Yeah, I got the impression you almost said it.
Trailblazer's trying to maintain his professionalism despite his camaraderie.
well, as far as the situation stands, when I eventually head back to Narendra and when Grennan's finally there, I can kick the crap out of him myself. But regarding what you can do and what you've already done, I can't really ask for much more. You are still bound by the Codex, and you're still trying to help. So I can be appreciative of that.
Oh, that's the other thing. About pulling out the tech, that was... I kind of suggested that because there was a worry that your ship might be captured at some point, and losing Alcaran technology was not a good idea. But rather than just tearing out the warp engine and leaving you with powerless, better to put something else in there, so...
I'm assuming that's where a good portion of the 100 days went.
To hide the repairs.
Yeah.
As for your lost crew, some of it was containment. We had to take some people because the memory wipe wouldn't take. Some were lost in the incident when you guys first got the orb. Before I was able to get to you, some of your crew died.
I'm assuming the doctor is with you.
Yeah.
No, it's better than
Romulans. Apparently, she very quickly realized she was drugged and then undrugged herself every time. It was very impressive, if not irritating.
Yes, I don't like normal crew. I like the ones that irritate me or surprise me. It makes life more fun.
An inventive crew is a useful crew. I'll agree with you on that.
But
Yes, the other Romulans have already figured it out without.
Yeah. They just were better at keeping it secret. It's like, hey, wait a minute. We're gonna pretend for a bit.
But considering all the things that are going on, I was planning on spending my quote-unquote free time to give some strategy seminars about the ship, just to maybe prepare some people without giving too much away.
That's probably best.
But yeah. Again, I'll get the Jag to focus on the rest of the senior staff and make a big show of myself for clear, and obviously dangerous reasons, because that's my job.
Well, I know you have 31 reasons to know how to do what you're doing, so I'm not going to question your tactics on this. Sometimes tried and true methods work. So,
I mean, I've already got enough people that dislike me, so painting a bigger target is going to be easier than you think.
no, I believe you. I've had to pull that stunt a couple times. You're probably better at it than I am. I'm actually pretty bad at ticking people off intentionally.
Yeah. Being truthful tends to actually work in your favour. But if you need any assistance, just reach out again and I'll try to help. But this is where I'm going to be for a while, until the first committee decide, well, there's nothing you can do, shit happens.
Just remember, smile, be truthful, and don't let anyone shout over you.
And tell them to kiss my ass. Got it.
Please do not say that to the first committee. that would not be wise.
I mean, I've got variations.
Have a good day, Captain.
Admiral.
And new scene. Boop. Boop. I'm getting a lot of use out of this room. Bottle episode, everybody. No, I'm just kidding. Aza and Deva.
Hello.
What are you doing as you're passing the time? I remember one of you was watching I just finished watching a very educational and interactive film. What's Aza been up to?
So we're under house arrest, correct?
Yep.
So is the door just locked?
It's locked, but you can try if you need to go somewhere else. If you have a sincere reason to go somewhere, you can ping operations. Go, hey, I need to go here, and they go, oh, okay, and they'll have security escort you to a different part of the ship.
Okay. I'm just trying to think about. I have an idea of what I would like to do. I've been thinking about how best to execute it.
You notice the stars outside stop warping, and the ship has dropped the sublight, or impulse speeds, probably.
Computer, what is our current location?
Current location is Beta Epsilon 365050-0017. Designate by Klingon Defense Force as the Beta Lankal system.
GM, should I know what that means?
Insight plus con or security difficulty of you're a veteran, so I'll put it down to 1. You might have heard a story or two about it.
Okay. Insight con.
Oh, Arlen, whoops. I didn't see the thing at the bottom. Oh well. I'll get back to you.
Yeah, she's read Memory Alpha.
So I had it in front of me. 1 second. Sorry, author. I'll get to you in a moment. So Beta Lankal is a otherwise not terribly important star system. It's strategic in that it's a navigational point. It's a nice point for fleets to gather before they start heading toward Ramen space or Federation space or deeper into Klingon space. Like it's a nice mustering ground for fleets. Um, and it's come and because of that, it's kind of come up in conflicts before. It came up during the Klingon Wars between the Federation, and more recently, and this is why you know it, that's where forces loyal to Gowron, when they just suffered a major defeat in the Menpause sector, which is where you are, they were during the Klingon Civil War. Gowron and his forces retreated to Beta Lankal, so not Martok, but the Chancellor before him. So you're familiar with that because you've been around and you would have heard those stories about the Klingon Civil War. It would have been like a secondary, like, oh, that's a neat thing to have. And oh, when Klingons massed their forces, they usually set up at Beta Lankal first and then moved out somewhere. Or if they're retreating, they retreated to Beta Lankal because they didn't retreat straight to Kronos. They usually retreated to some safe spot that's pretty stable, binary star system, one world, seen from all sensors. It's a pretty has a Class K planet, like Mars-like planet. Like it's a very stable, boring place, but it's easy to find, and the binary star system makes it easy as a reference point in Klingon space.
One second.
Sure.
Okay, we were traveling through in order to get from the I'm sorry, this is a dumb question. In order to get from the Shackleton back to Federation space to stand trial, we have to travel through Klingon space, right? We are still on the direct path.
Yep, this tracks as you probably stop by Starbase 10, pass by 105 or Outpost MZ5, and then you cross the neck where Beta Lankal usually sits. So you're probably heading through Beta Lankal to Kittimer and then Starbase 24. Is your best guess? Like that's a fairly straight line.
Okay. 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 What I would like to do is I would like to ping I would like to ping my communicator and say, this is Counselor Isa. I would like to stretch my legs for a minute. Could you have someone accompany me?
Certainly, Counselor. Stand by.
Oh, I'm going too.
If you so wish, Tabin. I know the youth have much more energy than I could ever possess.
I have seen you run around in internal vent systems. I don't know if that's true.
And I've paid the price for it every morning afterwards.
The door chimes.
Tabin.
Yes.
She's gonna frown for a second and shake her head and say, don't worry about it. Come in.
You see two security guards. One's waiting outside, one just kind of steps in. Counselor, little Tabin. I'm here for your escort. Or we are, rather.
Wonderful. Should you lead the way?
Are you just walking about the deck, or do you have a particular destination in mind? Because we can do a whole revolution of the saucer if you want. That's a pretty good walk. But if you want to go to the terrarium, we don't mind taking you there.
I like the idea of a revolution.
Yeah, let's do a revolution around the saucer.
The guy outside looks alarmed. The guy inside just sighs. Of course, follow me, please.
Guy gives if I may ask.
Hmm.
No, that was out of character. If I may ask, what are the species of these two guys?
Human and a Andorian.
Understood.
Can I ask endless questions about every possible minute detail of Andorian history? Like every half step, I have another question.
Give me. Well, let's see if you actually get him the answer. Instead of him just going, "I'm busy," you know.
I'll accept one-word answers.
I know, but eventually you might wear him down.
That might be the point.
Presence, command, difficulty 2.
All right. Unfortunately, because I'm a child, my stats are really terrible, so I kind of gotta go hard on dice. So I'm gonna give you 3 threat. Would you accept intuition? I think it would be. I'm getting the feeling that it might be important for me to distract one of these guys. I don't think Az is here for just a walk.
Complication increase. Bit of a leap.
Alex, I need.
Plus, she didn't inform you if she was, so you could be completely wrong on this.
No,
Aha, I'm helping. I'm not helping. Whoops.
She's a good Bajoran. That means she's always looking to stab the authorities in the back, right? That's what we're supposed to do.
Lord.
Yeah, hey, you gain momentum. Yeah, the guy eventually. At first, it's like, sorry, I'm on duty. I'm busy, but eventually, it's a. You're asking about. There's a look like the Andorian gives a look to the human. The human just kind of goes, "It's fine." It's one of those. These security guys are escorting you out of formality. They are not worried you guys are going to dart off anywhere. They're just by regulation they're supposed to escort you around when you're walking. So it's like, oh, okay, I can chat with the kid. And yeah, they'll answer as best they can. They're no scholar like Thralic is when it comes to military history because they're not from a military family. But they do their best.
I want to remind them of that every so often. Just be like when they're like, I don't remember if that was in the northern ice fields or if it was off to the northeast of that place. I'll be like, Thralic would probably know. I just want to keep throwing that in there occasionally.
Oh, you've been taught by a Thralic. Oh, that's a high
Yeah.
honor for you. There's many Andorian children who'd be jealous of you. He would comment.
Yeah, no, Tabin has been taught by the best. Many would be envious to have his tutors.
I've even used Thralic's tactics in a battle once. We defeated the Elder Vin.
The officer looks a little uncomfortable up at the counselor and back at the kid.
He was routed from the field like they did in the ice wastes of the South.
This was in a training simulation. Don't worry.
It was in real life. We got him.
That's the one where an unarmed mob charges a giant and then pulled him to the ground?
Yes.
Okay.
We would have eaten him like they did, but I think Captain Penn wouldn't have been happy.
Okay. Can I look to the guy on my...
We got him.
Can I look to the guy on my right? Or this guy. Is he... Whichever one is not the Andorian, is he sufficiently distracted by this conversation?
He is... The guy in the back is the Andorian. That one's the one that's distracted. The one up front is mainly making sure that no one's coming to rush up at you. Or you're not outpacing him. So this guy's the one that's meant to watch you. This one's meant to watch ahead of you. So this is the one that's being distracted by Tabin right now. But the guy up front is not really paying attention to you other than to check that
Okay.
you're still behind them.
Can I DM you a question then?
You certainly can.
I feel someone else is about to do a Winchester.
Actually, I'm going to grab you out of this corridor because there's a better corridor for where this is going on.
Although I do have to advise, most of the time that doesn't work out and you just die.
Okay, I think there's a chance Asa goes to prison for this. I think there's a relatively low chance that she dies from this.
Challenge accepted.
Prison's only temporary. Joining the Tripolity, it's forever.
I mean, to be fair, dying only happens when you're a Winchester character picking a fight with Pent.
No, sometimes crowds do it.
I've never had a character die to pinned.
Give it time.
In fact, I've had 2 characters save pinned from death.
Sure.
2. I think of 1.
Ume acted as body armor. Because changelings have 4 stress or whatever, 4 armor, natural resistance or whatever. He picked a fight with the expedition crew and they tried to shoot him, and I acted as body armor.
Oh, that's when they tried to, or not tried, separated my mind from my body.
It was when we were going to the Tree of Life or whatever on that planet.
Yeah, then they beamed my mind from my body to the ship.
I don't remember.
Yeah, that's how that one got a bit weird.
That's when I tried to take Varder's bones. That's a different character though.
Yeah, you did try that.
Many have tried.
Oh, there it is.
No, just one. Just one has tried.
Apparently a couple of Klingons have succeeded.
What? What? Who?
Talking about a very specific
I'm
bone.
not explaining what I meant by that.
Asa, you owe me an opposed roll.
Okay. I'm excited.
On women.
Daring plus security opposed.
Can I ask you opposed by whom?
Whoever's monitoring communications on the bridge or something. Like, these people aren't going to see it, but someone's monitoring general communications, and if something weird happens, the ship security might notice.
Okay.
But that's it. So the amount of dice I'm going to be buying with threat, it's going to be fairly low because your rep's so high. Like, in general, they're not going to be throwing a ton of resources at you guys. They're not that worried.
Okay. Can I spend my determination on the value deeply spiritual that I am appealing to, I am basing my actions here on religious belief above all else?
I'll take that, yeah.
Alrighty. Farther.
Also, I'll note, due to Tabin's talking, these guys can't assist the roll. Normally they would when you're walking around like this, but they can't. They're too busy. The guy who would be watching you isn't paying close enough attention to be of any help. So it's just a random guy at bridge duty who's gonna maybe see what's going on.
And I assume there's no way I spin you on strong path here. I'm not resisting, I'm initiating.
Yeah.
That's what I figured. All right. In that case, I will spend is it 5 threat at this point to buy 4 dice with the determination?
Yeah.
All right, then I will spend 5 threat.
5 threat die.
That is a total of 5.
And they'd buy at least 1 die, because, I mean, you have a history. Not a long one. Most of your history's been good. It's just that one little bit that makes people a little jumpy about you, but that's it.
She was not a domestic terrorist. She was a freedom fighter. There is a difference.
I mean, tomato.
Yeah.
There's a brand.
Vichy French, Resistance French. You know, the line's pretty thin.
Yeah, one had better branding.
That's a hot take.
Not really.
No, I was
We're
talking
about to
about
be
our
banned
in
Marshall
invasion of
Petain simp
France.
over here.
Yeah, the Vichy French and Resistance French is
The
that's a
exact
bit of a-
opposite.
yeah, that's a little bit of a difference there, Chief.
No, I said what I said. It's relevant to Asia. But yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah, I
got
forget.
5. You got 5 hits. I only got 2. Gain 3 momentum.
Okay, can I? So you said before that would take like hours or days to make a transmission to the Klingon Empire, right?
Yeah.
So I assume it would take a longer amount of time to go all the way across the Beta and Alpha quadrants to Bajor. Could
Once
I?
it clears the Klingon space, then it just enters the regular network and it just zips.
Can I spend 2 momentum to create the advantage that it will travel as fast as it can? That
You
I
could do
set
that.
it up on some sort of space fiber optic cable. Yeah.
You could do that. I'm willing to do that. You know.
Then that is all I have to do. Once I send that message, not from my room, importantly, I will, innocently whistle and continue along with my walk.
New scene as we cut to somewhere else on the ship. Don't worry. I remembered somebody. Hi, Arlen.
Hi. I've been listening the entire time, and just now I can say something.
All right, Lieutenant Arlen, let's go through this again, says Security Chief Lieutenant Commander Isaac Kampf. With a biometrics reader kind of scanning over your face. He's kind of looking. He's not looking at you. He's looking at the screen.
Oh, that's a terrible joke I've just come up with.
Yep.
So tell me, if you were in the middle of a forest and you encountered a wounded animal stuck in a trap and you stared at it, how would you feel?
Out of character, are you doing a freaking Von Kampf test on me?
Maybe.
Maybe. I'm like, I kind of recognize this. What?
Von Kampf from Mr. Kampf?
No, I forgot that a term. Is that test from Blade Runner?
Oh, the advanced Turing test?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
the
just like a
advanced
more-
Turing test.
And actually, on that joke, I'll actually give you recognizing what I was doing there. Enza Engineering Diff 1 said Diff 2. You might see what the security officer's doing.
Alright, pulling up sheet. Flip that over. Insight, engineering. Technical insights or Starfleet protocols as focus.
Starfleet protocols.
Fast thinker.
I'll take Diff 0.
Alright, take a threat, cause the board cube's not here yet.
Hey, gain a momentum.
And reroll.
Gain
Gain
2
3 momentum because it's diff 0 from my trait.
Well, that's how math works. You recognize that he is, in fact, checking if you are a synthetic person, if you are an android, robot, or any other such being, based on a AI system. He's doing an AI test.
And
this
far
is
as
the
I
first
know,
time he's ever done it. This is the first time he's ever ran
Okay.
through this test.
Has been running me through other sort of identity tests, like the changeling blood test and other such things
Yep.
that I've recognized.
Lots of lot, and
And
actually, the for most of the last 20 days, he's been doing a lot of. It was a lot of what do you remember? What do you know? Would you have consulted with your JAG officer?
Yes, I would.
Okay, you would have been told to, in general, don't say anything unless you believe it's of pertinent and immediate interest to Starfleet. So if there's a security thing that people need to know about, please tell them so no one's lives are endangered. But other than that, don't imperil your case. You're not here to get yourself convicted. That's their job. If they want to hit you with dereliction, they have to find their own evidence. Don't give them any. But if they're asking you like a question that you think, in your opinion, is a good thing to answer, then go ahead and answer it. But you can always, because it's not. But you can always refuse answering because you are under charges. But they leave that to your judgment. But that's their guidance. It's like, yeah, some answers, some
And
things
as
you should shut up
far
about, some
as
things you should.
and as far as my immediate chain of command, Captain Pend and Commander Thralic gave us orders to cooperate. Correct?
Oh, cooperate and probably shut the fuck up.
It's actually in the Shackleton logs specifically, what the standing orders are from through Thralic, the all hands memo.
Yeah, because I think I specifically asked the commander to put that out to all crew.
Yep.
Okay, because this might color or how antagonistic I am.
Yeah, I figured.
All right, fine. I can't weasel my way out of any of these terms. I'll cooperate. So cutting back to the actual scene, the question was the wounded animal on the forest.
Yeah, you find an animal wounded in the forest, caught in a trap. How would you feel?
I would feel empathetic, upset. I would possibly be finding a way to release it and treat it if I could.
What is the square root of 136 to two significant numbers?
136.
And you can feel free to calculate that because your character is fast thinker and an engineering score very high. Yeah, this is something your character just do. Give me
Arlen would
this.
totally know this offhand.
Just offhand go, yeah, I could rattle that off.
Let's see. That's probably around 12. No, it's a little lower. Like 11.5, 11.6. Kind of ballparking here.
Okay. How many light years are we from the Earth?
Approximately how many sectors away are we from Earth?
Just say more than one.
It's probably right. That's going to be like Insight Con or something to guesstimate.
Yeah, kind of Insight Con that.
15 parsecs.
You don't know where you are in space right now.
Oh yeah, that is a problem.
Okay.
Oh wait,
well,
wait.
But
you can ask if you can look at the stars. Right? Maybe like a
not
diff
quite
5
that
roll
good,
or
but
something.
I could. But I
You can
know
guess
that
average
we started
roll.
from Narendra. I know how far
Mhm.
away Narendra is from Earth, and I know approximately how long we've been in traveling, so I could ballpark a figure.
Insight Con, diff 4.
Can I suggest using engineering based on knowing the engineering space X of the Galaxy class? How fast she can run?
I would allow it, but I will add on the rider of complication +2 So comp 3, because you don't know what refits the ship's gone through. They may have it's because this is an older. The galaxies are fairly old. And the icebreaker's been around is not the oldest of them, but it's not the youngest of them either.
Plus, any engineer can massage a few a few point one warp factors out of an engine.
Yeah.
If they're a competent engineer. I don't know what the icebreaker engineering crew is like. Fast thinker and lateral thinker are traits. Since I'm trying to come about this from a roundabout way, and also I'm attempting to do mental math.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take those rather. So diff 2 by the sound of it.
Or
you can bring
let's
down
drop the diff on that. Let's drop the diff. 1 threat, 2 momentum.
Okay.
And technical insight as a focus, especially since how I'm approaching this.
Yep.
All this just so I can show off.
Yeah.
Bold reroll.
So yeah. It is approximately 108 light years away from your current position. Because you're guessing you're somewhere in the Mempa region, given best estimate of the ship, technical situation, tactical situation. You're probably stuck to starbase to starbase. You probably have to stop by starbase 24, so you have to look down. Given the current setup, yeah, about 100 light years, 108 light years. Any more significant than that, like smaller numbers, it's harder to guess because it depends on what the pilot felt like today, or if weather got in the way. Like it's hard to guess any further than that.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to BS my measurement and say 107.96 light years.
Nice
give or
guess,
take.
Lieutenant. He smirks and then he starts going into his next question. When suddenly, the whole ship shakes. You almost to the point that you kind of have to brace yourself on the desk. And he kind of had to grab onto his desk as well to not be just thrown out of it. And now there's red light alarms. Lieutenant, stay there. Lieutenant Commander to bridge, report. He looks at you, taps his comm badge. Lieutenant Commander Isaac Kumpf to the bridge, report. Lieutenant, try your comm badge. Call anybody. I don't care who.
Lieutenant Arlen to Captain Pend.
Pend, your comm badge beeps at you.
I have been summoned. For what purpose?
Do you know anything what's going on up top? We can't get communications through.
I'm assuming the situation's happened because there's red lights and a klaxon happening.
I mean, and that's generally what that means. That means that, no good is happening. Could mean that the nacho cheese is spoiled, but I don't think we turn on red alarm for that.
Clear signal, you can hear each other just fine?
Yeah?
Sure.
Captain, can you hear me?
Can I hear him?
Yeah, you can.
I can hear
just,
you.
So communications aren't down.
Okay, again, rough guess. Did we just fall out of warp? Especially with the rumble?
No, Tess, you felt the ship came to a stop. It dropped the impulse like an hour ago.
Okay, so
you've
the
been
rumble
at
was
sublight for a
probably
while.
from an impact.
Well, I'd like to give you more information, but I'm currently looking out of my room.
I'm pretty sure we're under attack then, but that's not helpful.
Well, I can't really help until they ask for help.
You see him tapping away at the screen. He's glancing around like crazy, trying to figure out what's happened to his ship. This is a security
I'm gonna go
officer
to the
who's in
screen
the
and see if
dark.
I can't. I'm gonna go to the screen and see if I can't override something. Like,
What are you
take the
trying to
panel off
override?
and start hacking.
What are you trying to override to?
Just trying to hardline on communication either to the bridge or to engineering. Just, make my call go through. Or I guess I could do this. Or I guess another way I could do this is see if I can just get into the internal ship communication stream and just listen to what's going on.
Give me reason plus engineering difficulty of 3. You notice as you start reaching under stuff and start digging around, Comp kind of looks down at you and then kind of glances at what you're doing for a half second and then just continues what he's doing. Like very quickly he realizes what you're trying to do and he doesn't stop you. It's like, nope.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna hang up now.
Rather
Have
than
fun.
force my car to the bridge, I'm just gonna see if I can tap into the internal ship communications.
The ship rocks again.
1 threat, 2 momentum, focus and tinkering.
You can do that.
And fast thinker. Here, I'm doing this on my feet.
I'll take that. Diff 2, I believe.
Okay. There it goes. And it's fish.
Arlen, you're about to get access to the icebreaker sheet. Boop. It should appear near the top.
The ice has been broken.
Yeah,
Yep, we're under attack or something. We're at least taking in breaches. Communications are down. Communications, sensors, and structures have been hit. And crap.
Oh, you only said sensors were hit. Okay.
All right, is this filled up now, or is this happening real
Continue-
time?
Continue your report.
And communications are down.
All right. Do you want to check that again, Lieutenant? We just talked to your captain.
Comm badges can use an ad hoc network.
Right, it ad hoc and talk to us between each other. That's why we can't talk to the bridge, which means that's why no one can talk to us, and no one's telling me what's going on. Great. Status of the bridge, Lieutenant.
I can't. Communication network's completely down. I might be able to fix it, but it's going to be hairy.
Well, use the bloody sensors. You're an engineer. Figure it out. I'm trying to figure out who the hell shot us.
All right, I'm going to tap into the sensors or grid.
Bro, if I have to look out the window and identify this before this guy.
Yeah, I was just about to say, can we just look out the window and see what's happening?
Captain, do you see anything up there? Because I'm
Insight plus
console.
security difficulty of 5 for someone to look out the window and take a guess what's going on.
Bro, that'd be hilarious. That's entirely not my forte at all.
Do you want me to have a crack at it?
Yeah, you've got fucking all the ship identification stuff, don't you?
I've got
Yep.
certain things. Would you
Listen, I've
accept?
got paranoia. I don't know if that helps me or not.
Would you accept the trait of Tellarite with increased senses?
I would, yeah. Did 4.
Would you accept Master Strategist?
For
not in this case.
Corbinian, for 2 momentum, can we activate an ad hoc communicator network between all the players, so we're kind of all in on this situation?
You could, yeah.
Okay.
And again, the Lieutenant Commander doesn't stop you because right now, the ship's under attack. It's in your interest not to die.
Tried and tested.
I'll take that.
The only other one I can really think of is maybe Hoplite.
That wouldn't help here, unfortunately.
That's it. Focus and composure.
I'd take it.
Take a threat. I'll spend 2 momentum. So I think I've already hit it, but I've got to reroll. So I'll reroll one of those zeros. Yeah, I've already hit it.
Looking up the you look out the window, and in the distance you can see something that's, whatever it is, it's smaller than a shuttle. Actually, there's a lot of somethings that are smaller than a shuttle out there, and they seem to have, you would guess, massive Durasteel blades attached to it. And you recognize what that is because it's something you hear about in history class back in the academy.
That's a bladed mine.
They're bladed friggin' mines. Very popular among, well, people who can't do better mines and the Klingons.
Yeah, I'll reopen the call to Arlen and the Lieutenant Commander. Gentlemen, I would ask that you get communications with your bridge and tell them to stop flying through bladed mines.
Mines?
I can see them out of the window.
Why the hell would we be flying through a minefield?
Bladed mines. Last I heard, either unsavory spy agencies use that or Klingons.
Well,
Is that right, sir?
just make sure you focus on communicating with the bridge to stop moving.
We're having trouble talking to the bridge. No one's answering my comm badge. I might have to head up there and figure out what's going on, or just override it from here to stop us from moving.
Do you want me to go up to the bridge?
Captain, and if you can head up to the bridge, that'll be great. I'm going to...
Reason Science difficulty 4 to get a scan of what's going on outside. Would be diff 3, but due to certain circumstances in the battlefield, but diff 4 because you're overriding from a position that isn't the bridge. Don't worry, the ship will help. No, it won't. It can't. Well, you do a minor action and bypass the sensor.
Minor action bypass.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll attempt to leave my room to head up to the bridge.
The door beeps. Arlen, you see Isaac kind of look at the screen. He looks around. I hate improvising. God damn it. The door opens. I'll meet you on the bridge, Captain.
Understood. Just inform the rest of the crew. They can help with the repairs and get us out of here. Pendle, go to the bridge.
All Achilles crew, you are now activated for the defense of the icebreaker. We are under attack. Report to the bridge. Come on, Arlen. Or are you going to go to engineering? Because I doubt you're going to be mucking around in there for much longer.
Probably be more useful in engineering.
Okay, get down there. Just ask computer if you get lost. Cam just races off. Seems very concerned about his ship for some reason. I wonder why.
All right, I'm heading to engineering.
Where's everyone else going?
The bridge.
Bridge.
Now. I want to be there
Tegan,
yesterday.
you are staying right here. Do not move an inch. Do you understand me, mister?
Narrator, he did indeed move 1 inch.
Aza is going to take his silence as a yes and leave the room without locking the door.
And you lose the child for time number 4.
GM, given that I have a hoplite commander, extraordinary climber, and relentless, can I get to the bridge like unreasonably quickly after I get that authorization?
You could, yeah.
Cool.
Could I, considering I've got fitness 11 and I'm also a hoplite?
Because of hoplite, I'll take it. Hoplite's know how to move about ships under emergency situations a little faster than your average officer. Because you guys get special training. Like sometimes the Jeffrey tube is faster. No, really, it's faster.
Especially when you got people
Especially if you're
panicking
moving
in the
down
hallway.
decks.
Yeah.
Just drop.
What if I fall? Brace yourself.
Don't fall.
What if you
It's
break
not-
something? Keep going.
Yeah.
Did you break anything? No? Keep running.
Look, mind over matter. If you feel pain, just don't worry about it.
If you feel pain,
Don't worry about it. Have you tried just not?
Do you know how many ribs the average person has? You can go without a couple of them.
Oh man. Don't need all those. Trips.
All right. BRB, no. Should say on the sheet, actually. 1 second. Oh. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Arlen. I fixed it.
Okay, so I'm doing the reason science roll.
Are you staying in there to try to do it from where you're sitting, or are you gonna get up and go to engineering?
I'm gonna get up and go to engineering because I'm not gonna futz around with the console. I want to be where the action is.
All right, new scene. Pend and Thralic race onto the bridge, sweating a little bit, only because you're not familiar with this ship, so you have to do a couple of blind guesses. And you guys, I don't think either of you have served on a galaxy before, so it's a little bit of guesswork. You see that this room has there are massive blades that have cut through the front screen and exploded and peppered most of the bridge staff with bits of metal. So the whole room has been dropped.
Is this
You're in combat rounds. Be advised.
Can we see if the ship's still moving?
If you go to con, you can find out, or sensors.
Frolic is going to start moving towards tactical.
Minor action, tactical. Then what?
Rewind. So
Rewinding.
like I'm not saying I'm using a minor action moving. I'm saying that is the direction in which Pend can see that Thralic is going to be moving.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'll probably be heading over to the con station.
So which one of you wants to fire first?
I think con first.
Yeah.
The con man.
Do you
Call
move
it
the
a
guy out of the chair,
con
or do you just reach over them?
I'll reach over him.
Okay. What are you doing at con?
Making sure the ship's at full stop.
Control plus con difficulty of... This is a rare thing I do, but it makes sense here. Actually, no, diff 1 because you're reaching over somebody. It's above 0. The ship's going to help you with this.
Remember when I used to be great at con tasks? Focus in,
Yeah.
lead by example.
I'll take it.
Trait of tried and tested.
Diff 0.
Oh, I think I'll just roll the 2 dice.
Gain of momentum. Ship registers all stop.
And I would like to spend 1 momentum due to tactical voice to direct the commander.
Okay.
Commander, get to tactical, try and get some form of shields or security back online.
My idea precisely, sir.
And I'm directing the commander.
You enter your codes and you gain access to the ship. Actually, both of you would get it because you both have been accessing the ship. Boop.
Like, in reality, there's only so much the 2 of us can do in this situation, so it's like, I can stop the ship, just make sure we got some form of defense, please.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. Got it. That's a lot of breaches
Mm-hmm.
to that system.
Dude, ice and bladed mines do a lot of damage.
How many communications hits?
I gain 2 threat.
Oh, comms is just gone.
Yeah. Oh, this is just gone.
What's your action, Thralic?
I'd like to modulate the shields against the mines.
You certainly can do that. That is a this and that plus that roll, and just roll that. It's fine.
Okay. Let's see. I have a 15 in this and a 2 in that, so it's a pretty
there
good
we go.
roll.
Control plus security, diff 2.
Yeah, and I'll assist.
Assisted by the ship's structure engineering, because you now have access to the ship.
And me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you're directing it.
Yep.
Rate of Hoplite Commander. I am entering a severe crisis area and immediately going into action.
I'll take it.
Right. Focus in strategy and tactics, getting defenses up.
I'll take that. Yeah.
Right. What was the difficulty on it again?
I want to say 2. Double checking. 2.
All right. So 2 or 1. Yeah, I'll roll 2 dice then. There we go.
You got 1 from the assist from me, and
The ship.
yeah.
Structure engineering. But you need to perform an additional minor action, either momentum or threats, to bypass the impact structure.
I'll spend a momentum there.
Okay. Boop. Ship helps. That alone increases your resistance of the ship by 1. You can increase that for 1 additional momentum repeatable.
Cool.
So you're at 7 currently.
I'm going to burn my bonus momentum medal. Which one's that again? I'm looking.
Medal of Honor, that sounds like.
Yeah.
Well, there are a couple that give you 2.
Legion of Honor.
It's like there are a couple of them that give you 2, but only one of them that gives you the ability to quash.
Oh.
I think.
Yeah, Legion of Honor will give you 2,
Yeah.
Or something
So-
like that.
and also is ignore a complication.
So you bring up, you bring resistance up to 9.
Just gonna spend that medal and the one that we generated.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, so that puts you to 10. Sorry. Something happens out there amidst this. Oh, sorry. You could keep the initiative. My bad. You could. Pen could swift. I think use tactical voice to direct instead.
We have quick to action as well.
Oh, you have quick
think,
action.
right?
That's true.
Rylov's active and around, right?
Yeah, he's just trying to get here, so it's taking time for him to get up
Yeah.
here.
So yeah, we have quick to action.
All right. Can I? Nah. Not that. Never mind.
I mean, is it worth maybe quick to actioning Arlen?
But
You could.
Yeah, might work. Well, we still have power. We don't have shields. That might be something we need to get.
3 guilds.
Yep. Quick to action to me then.
Yeah.
I would like to give us shields, please.
Okay. You're not quite at engineering yet, but you can still like start yelling at the computer and or writing on a pad or something real quick as you're racing to the engineering bay. Oh, actually, sorry, I skipped something. 1 second, fixing that. Where the fudge are you? Deba, you're here. You're in the captain's ready room. Sneaking through the vents.
God damn it.
She lost the child again.
She told you not to move.
If we
Clearly
always
you were
did what we
going
were
to follow
told,
that.
the Cardassians would still be on page.
Oh my god.
It's my one and only drum, and I will continue banging it.
You are very lucky that the Federation doesn't approve of corporal punishment of children.
Yeah, that's a way to get rid of my persecution complex.
There it
Say
is.
it out loud.
Arlen, you're looking at control engineering difficulty 2 because you're overriding, assisted by the ship's structure engineering.
All right. And I need all the momentum I can get to get all those extra seal points.
You can always give threat.
Uh-huh. Okay, so I can do that. Okay. So that is specifically for tinkering. Don't think I can edge that in. Focus in EPS systems or emergency repairs.
EPS systems. Trying to manage some of the power moving around.
Limit pusher, fast thinker, or a lateral thinker, especially since I'm doing this on the run, on a pad, in an unideal situation.
Brings down the diff to 1 due to fast thinker. Lateral thinker won't help you terribly because this is the sort of thing you would do if you're overriding and doing stuff on the run.
All right.
This is normal for you to do. Well, it's not normal to be on someone else's ship to do it, but whatever. Starfleet prepares you for this sort of thing.
Value. Nothing is perfect, only better than it was. Don't have to get the shield for fuel, just better than what we're currently at. And I'm gonna roll 5 challenge dice, see how much threat you get.
Certainly.
4.
Looking for the 4. Num num.
It's gonna bite me in the butt later. Bold engineering. And that's about it.
You're welcome.
And my bowling lucky trait only works on dice that I roll, doesn't it?
No, I think it works for the ship as well.
Yeah, if a complication rolls because of your roll, then you might get lucky, and it just happens to be you're born or of course you're lucky.
Let's try to be lucky. Yep. I'm lucky.
So how much do we gain?
Just for succeeding at the roll, the difficulty was 1, so 5 momentum was generated.
Plus 2 from plus 2 for my determination.
Correct. You regain 2 shields because of success. Do you wish to spend any more into it? Each one gives you an additional 2 shields, I believe. Yes.
All right, so 1, 2. Yeah, let's spend 4 momentum to fill up our shields.
2, 3, 4. Shields at full.
All right, and our resistance is up. I am going to try to jerry-rig the communication systems, if I may.
Gonna swift task?
Yep, swift task, jerry-rig.
2 momentum or 2 threat?
2 threat.
2 threat eye.
All right, so I am performing a task to repair the communication systems. I reduce it to a diff of 2. Reduce the difficulty of the task by 2. 2 minimum of 0.
Actually, I'm gonna rewind that back because I just realized when the difficulty is impossible because it's destroyed.
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna try something else, and I'm going to set up a ad hoc communicator network.
I believe you already have.
Or spread it to the ship.
Spread it to the ship. Spread it to all Starfleet personnel within range.
You can do that. I would say daring plus engineering difficulty of daring engineering difficulty of 3. Actually, you have a jury rig power, don't you?
Yeah. When I attempt to do repairs, I can reduce the difficulty by 2. But when I do this, it's only temporary and lasts the scene.
So you could take this at the diff 3, or you could jury rig a solution to pull down the difficulty to 1.
Okay. Let's go ahead and jury rig.
Okay.
Because another part of it is I can spend additional momentum to keep the repairs active for each additional scene beyond that.
And actually, sorry, it would be diff. Sorry, it would have been diff 4, diff 2 because you're swift tasking.
All right. Diff 2 spends 1 threat. This is daring engineering. Focus in emergency repairs.
You could do that, yeah.
Limit pusher. I'm pushing the limits of the ad hoc communication network.
Diff 1.
Fast thinker to think of a bypass of a communication error.
Won't take that here.
Lateral thinker.
I'll take that. Diff 0.
All right.
I'll have a good argument against that.
Don't have anything else against. All right.
3 momentum generated.
I'm just gonna dump that 3 momentum into the jury rig so it can last for 4 scenes.
Spending 2 threat. Your jury rig of the system is going to put a heavy load on the ship's computers to be sort of your central, switchboard, as it were, to help. Basically, you're replacing the communication system with the computer system, augmented by your badges, which that will work for a while, but eventually the computers, anything to do with computers, is going to be a lot harder, and it can't do that forever. The computers have to eventually do something else that isn't the communicators. But you've given the computers ample instructions that it should hold up for a while. So it doesn't just have memory overload, but it just slows down the entire computer core.
All right. Captain, have a sketch together communication and grid. We should be able to talk with the rest of the ship.
Understood. That'll be next priority.
Turn does go to the other side. Something happens. Turn goes back to you. Either Thralic or Tabin is active at this time because the others are still getting here. Although I will say, actually, I will add that you guys can do stuff. It just has to be en route. You're not on the bridge yet. You're trying to get there. So you could be doing something on the run.
So, don't know what your plan is, Thralic. My plan is to use my first medical kit on the captain.
Just use your powers, show up on the bridge.
Yeah, I already did that. Yeah, that was how I got here, was spending 2 threat as a child. But I mean, on my turn, I'm gonna perform a surgery, I guess, on the captain.
I do love the narrative of you just rushing onto the bridge and trying to help out the admiral there.
Then I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna run onto the bridge, and I'm basically a member of Starfleet Medical, so I gotta help, triage, and captains are always at the top of triage, right? So
I don't think that.
You minor rush into the room.
Halfway there.
what do you mean?
He's been on
About
a ship
half
under
of that is
Romulan dominance,
correct.
so he's all the way there. Don't worry about it.
Oh, well, he's an admiral, but
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not sure I know the difference. He's a super captain, right? He's got a little
Super
bar.
captain.
I've
He's a
probably
Yeah.
never,
super
I've probably
captain.
So much
never come
sense.
across an admiral, right? My mother is enlisted, and like probably not going to many functions with admirals, right?
She knows this one redhead guy she served with once, but she doesn't like talking about him.
I don't want her to talk to me about that.
Oh no.
Uh,
Where do you think
I
he comes from?
probably have I probably am not quite sure that Pend is not basically in charge of all of Starfleet. Like, he might be.
To be fair, at this rate, he might be.
You owe me daring medicine, difficulty of 2. It would be 1, but you're using a my first aid kit to help somebody.
I mean, I do have the actual personal effects civilian med kits and tricorders, so.
Don't worry,
Like,
I'll spend
I
to
joke.
account for that. Don't worry.
Okay.
I'll be fair.
Focus in physiology.
I'll take it.
Right? Make sure all the parts are where they're supposed to be.
Yeah,
Alright.
there's just a big metal blade. And you're just having to kill them.
3 momentum. Because, again, I have child stats.
You hit the number. He is in fact stabilized. I would say 2 momentum, but for 2 threat, you could wake him up and get him on his feet as if he avoided the injury that dropped him. Or you can just stabilize him. Like right now, he's not going to die. You've done everything you could to prevent that massive shard of metal that's sticking out of him from killing him.
You can use determination to create an advantage, right? Would you let me spend determination on that?
Well, what advantage are you creating?
That I'm not only able to stabilize him, I'm able to revive him.
Sure. It's the same cost to me. Why not? To what value?
Then basically a member of Starfleet Medical. I got, the health of the ship relies on the captain being in action, and I'm basically responsible for the health of the ship because I'm basically a member of Starfleet Medical.
And this guy's basically the captain.
You're
Hey,
able to.
I don't know what I mean, I don't know what an admiral is. I'm sticking to that story.
Oh, I love that. It's just there's so many it's basically right.
Admiral Yadin is roused. He's awake.
I'll
About it.
I'll just yell at him. You gotta save the ship. I'm moving on to the next person, and then I'll move on. Well, I'll start to move on, but obviously I can't move.
You now have a friendly NPC who will be acting along with you guys. Because there's one of the crew that's here on the bridge now.
Is he in command?
This is the ship.
This is one of those situations where you don't try to figure that out right now. You just work together, right?
I mean, yeah, but from like a meta perspective, you have inconvenienced us by reviving him. Keeping him down keeps things a lot simpler.
Wow.
Tywin realizes a message he learned from Azza about political control earlier and takes a phaser out of my first medical kit to correct the mistake he's made.
Yeah, sometimes you have to assassinate the most brutal governor you can to get a more pro-Bajoran guy in power. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, Thralic didn't get to the real politiques section of the lecture, so I don't know any of this.
So you guys can keep the initiative. It's still first round.
Is it a minor action or a full action to move from off map onto the map?
You'll appear on map next at the top of next round. You're still trying to get here.
Okay, so the only thing we can do, it would be something that's not on the bridge.
You can do overrides, so you can't do bridge-like stuff.
Okay.
It's just the diff's increased by 1 because you're yelling at the computer or you're tapping on a pad to try
You're
to
not
do it from like a pad.
Yeah, you're not doing it from the official designated spot. Okay.
Yeah.
Then. Okay. I don't have anything for Asa to do, so
I
could
have a
someone else go?
suggestion.
Go ahead.
You could get a medical team up here, right? Maybe the
Mhm.
GM would let me take a minor, or just justify that I've comm badged you and yelled, "I need help, medical," and then maybe you could use a task to get them here, because you don't get them for free here. But
How does GM feel about that? Oh, also,
you can
Asa,
do that. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Asa, like the second the red alert went off, she for a second thought she had been caught and felt a little bit guilty, but is now kind of relieved that now she's definitely not going to be caught.
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
You got to see the big picture. Oh, that might be your new value. I crossed out a value last week and haven't replaced it. Like, the big picture would be a good one.
Presence medicine difficulty 3, since you're trying to organize medical teams to the bridge.
I
The ship's gonna
assume
help
they
you,
have to. I assume there's a lot of medical teams they have to organize throughout the ship. Okay.
Yeah.
Focusing conversation, or is that?
I'll take it under the auspice that you're trying to very quickly explain the situation and push the urgency of the situation at the same time.
Take a threat.
Certainly.
Because Lord knows you don't have enough of it right now. Yes.
Oh, right. The ship's communication doesn't help. The computer system helps.
I thought the ship's communication system doesn't exist anymore, at least at the moment.
Jury rigged through the computer.
Yep.
Oh, through the comm badges. Okay.
Yep. This does not count as you using the computer because you're using the jury rig part of the computer that's making the rest of the computer functions not work. But yeah, you're able to get some medical teams to rush onto the bridge because they're made very aware that it's a lot more important that they get up there and deal with the injuries up there than wherever else they are.
I mean, if they were even going anywhere because communications were down.
Yeah. Who's injured? Do you wish to swift task and do anything?
Nope. I'm still just going to be doing my best run to the bridge.
That was your action. Boop. Turn goes to the whoever's out there. Something happens. Goes back to you. Admiral Yadin says, not quite as an action unless you want him to do something, says, he looks at Pend, he looks at the child, he looks at Thralic, he looks at his bridge, he looks at the big metal that's pinning him to his chair, takes a breath. Damage report. What's our situation? What the hell hit us?
Well, unfortunately, you decided to fly through bladed mines.
Communication systems are completely down, Admiral. We've got an ad hoc network that Lieutenant Arlen has set up from engineering. But that's only internals.
The love sonnets till later.
Sensors and structure are both impacted. We've managed to restore a shield, and I've hardened them against a similar attack.
Are we at all stop, Pen?
That's the first thing I did.
I'm assuming Comp let you all out.
Well, didn't really have much of a choice.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Which means, is Jansen Ven with us still?
Here.
Rest of
Right,
Achilles'
the
staff
comm
should be
badges.
on the way to the bridge.
Ensign Ven, I know you're on your way, but I need to know what's outside. Something's changed. I want to know what it is.
That would be nice.
Okay, I'll see what I can do from here. It'd be great if I
Ensign.
could.
Science. Difficulty of, oh god.
Is he directing you?
He is directing, yeah. He can use that. He can do it as an action. He can help you. You're right. He can use his action to direct you. Why not?
The joys of command staff.
No, he. Oh,
Or,
no, he gets
I
that
mean,
skill.
depending on how difficult it is, instead of letting him override, he could do a rally so that Finn has momentum when he gets here and actually has a station to do it at.
Yaden isn't a very rallying type of admiral. He doesn't like giving speeches.
He's the just do it kind of admiral.
Which is why it's one of those. Oh, these guys are under arrest. All right, let's move on. What? All right, let's go. Don't say anything. Just go. We need to get going. Reason science difficulty 6, assisted by sensor science of the ship. And you now actually, I'm gonna give it all players now because you're now all able to. Now that the admiral's awake, and he can just hand wave that you all have access now. Because he needs help, and he doesn't have a bridge staff right now.
Thank you.
Yaden doesn't want to die. Or he doesn't want his crew to die either, for that matter.
Good
Okay. Determination spend. I think quick on my feet.
I'll take that.
I'm just looking over my list of stuff. Okay, so that means to buy rest of the dice would be 5 resources. So I am going to burn my metal, which is the one that does the threat to not spend. I have so many. The citation for conspicuous gallantry.
Okay.
So I will roll 5 challenge dice. You only get 3.
Fudge.
Yeah, you only get a 3 at 29.
Wait, that's... Yeah, because I'm only rolling 4 dice. Sensor operations focus?
Yep.
Okay. Not command, science. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 hits.
So gain 5.
1 second.
And just for the memes. Oh.
Hey!
Get a bonus and you gets it.
Yeah, because the bonuses is basically a float, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. So I'll probably use it to like ask a question.
Do do do. Do 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 do. Do do do. Do do. Do.
There's mines outside.
Do.
Oh no.
Do 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 do. Do do. Boop.
Oh, okay. Hang on. Give me a second. I have to open this up in a thing.
There's a coalition of ships outside ready to shoot you.
Ladder. Are those... Okay, hang on. I'm sorry, there's a lot to this.
There is.
What?
You're right.
Yeah. I guess my free question that I get as a science officer, what are all those 3s? Are those mines?
Yep. Difficulty 3 to move through those. Each of those areas are hit by mines.
Ah, gross. Second, what's the status of those 3 Klingon vessels on the other side of the system?
They are cloaked.
Wait, oh.
Why do you think the tip was so high? If you didn't make it, I was going to give you succeed at cost and just not have them included.
Ooh. Oh, okay. All right.
I'll correct that. The bigger ship is helping cloak that's 2 smaller ones. That's why you're able to see them at all. There's 2 heavy fighters out there. They're kind of that's you're seeing the heavy fighters kind of silhouetted against this kind of this other ship that's giving them cover or trying to give them cover.
Yeah, and they're
They
probably
really
not
succeeded
using.
too.
They're probably not using Tarkin class cloaks.
Okay, Captain, Admiral, I'm detecting an entire field of mines in the area. It's gonna be really hard to navigate through here, except for the area directly surrounding the planet, which we're now near, and the area directly surrounding the binary stars. We should be able to pass through those areas relatively easy. You know, as easy as it is navigating around a pair of binary stars, but that's not the weird thing. I'm detecting 3 cloaked vessels. I only picked them out because really it's 2 fighters riding the cloak wave of a larger vessel. And I was able to extrapolate out what kind of vessel based on the cloak shadow that's being thrown by them.
Are their weapons active?
Well, I guess I am going to spend one of the 5 momentum to ask that question. Weapons are active. They are under cloak.
That's a Tarkin class cloak.
If we could get into proper weapons resolution range, we could do real damage.
I don't know if it's
that's if they're actively hostile to us. I don't know. I can't make that call.
Can you tell who put those mines out there?
I guess I could ask another question.
You could.
Do those mines have a particular signal?
The numbers.
I mean, can the admiral just look at his chest and look at the the Klingon writing on the side of the blade?
Yeah.
Well, his eyes are not tricorders or sensors. He can't tell the metal compass. Oh, wow. What was that?
You good there?
I just heard a bunch of things open in my ear.
Ugh.
Like a bunch of messages suddenly turned on. That's not me trying to be funny. That actually happened to me. I don't know what that was. Weird. How did I do that? I don't want to do it again. Anyway.
As if a million voices has cried out in pain and were silenced.
Oh, the problem was that they weren't silenced.
Sorry, I have to refresh. 1 second.
How dare.
Well, that's what's happening. It was playing twice, the music, so it all of a sudden loaded all your messages at the same time, and then I was hearing this echo effect on my end. Didn't know you could do that, but fun fact, you can in fact disorient yourself like that. That's why no one else heard it. I swear it happened. I'm not making it up.
Good to know. Good to know.
Oh, there it is.
You
There it is.
accidentally gave yourself a sensory overload.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. That's what I was looking for. Scroll up, you silly thing.
I don't think these are our specific Klingons, Admiral. The composition and dating on these mines indicate that they've been around since the 22nd century. They're well over 200 years old. Or is that... I think that's
No?
right.
Yep. So we just ran into a 200-year-old minefield in a star system that's well known for being a mustering ground. And they weren't cloaked because they didn't have that kind of tech for their mines back then. And there were no mines when we got here. So where the hell have these come from? Ensign, keep an eye on those ships. Let me know if they start trying to shoot at us. Report to Commander Thralic at Tactical the moment they power up. And Thralic, if they do that, you just unload on them. I don't care how far away they are.
Yeah, well, currently they are at...
Good, Admiral.
hang on, let me just run the number real quick. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bands away, so that's what? Extreme 3?
Yeah.
Alright, well, in order to get anywhere close to firing resolution on us, they're gonna have to enter the minefield. I'll let you know if they do.
Acknowledged. Commander Thralic, any suggestions? You're the military buff here.
Yeah, that's where we test the potential correction attitudes of the mines by doing a phaser sweep of nearby elements of the minefield and proceeding at slow impulse.
Clear the minefield, inch forward.
Exactly.
I've heard dumber ideas. All right. Pick nearest vector and shoot. You're being directed. He spends... he would like to spend 2 momentum to take his swift. Rather than threat. He is directing you, Thralic.
Yep.
Go ahead.
So I guess I am declaring this as... It would be an area? Or would it be an area spread thing with phasers here?
Area.
Cool. Never keep them straight.
Area spread is to hit multiple things on the same target. So you want area to hit multiple targets in the same zone.
Focus in strategy and tactics.
I'll take it.
Trait of Hoplite Commander.
Yep, dealing with minefields is something a hazard team would be trained to deal with.
Military family, because these are old mines. From a time where the Federation and the
I'll
Klingons
take
were
it because the
conflict.
Federation and the Klingons have been at war in that time period. So, the Andorians would be familiar with that type of mine.
Right. Now I will spend momentum for a third die.
Oh yeah, he's helping. What am I doing?
Alright. I have exceeded the difficulty by 1 currently. By 2. Alright. Generate 2. Ship. Raise. Do you need me to roll damage here, Jam?
No.
Okay.
These things get hit at all with that, they're gonna pop. The trick isn't blowing up one of them; it's blowing up a lot of them, which is what you did, which is why that diff was so high.
Yeah. Can I use the versatile 2 on those to increase the amount that I'm able to clear? Basically, generate an advantage with the 2 momentum.
Unfortunately, no, because you're clearing an entire zone of mines, so and it can't really bleed into the adjacent areas reasonably. But you have cleared a zone of mines. As you see a wave of contacts as you sweep the phaser, and just little, it's almost like a firework display on the console of hundreds of mines blowing up.
Yeah. Then I'm going to use the versatile 2 there to nope, that's the Admiral's go, not mine. Never mind.
Have we kept yet since the other side is gone? I don't think so. So, does anyone wish to keep? You're still in the first round, so. The Admiral's shouted his orders.
I might have a dumb idea for dealing with the mines.
Have we already gone?
New round.
No, same round.
Same round? Oh, never mind.
Ben, Ryloff, and Throlic have enacted.
Oh,
And Ben.
I would say let them go.
Yeah, I think let them go too. I want
We
to
don't
be able
want to run down our
to
turns
respond
without
if need be.
theirs being run down.
Exactly.
Especially when we don't know how many turns they might have.
On their turn, something happens. Throlic, the area you cleared, suddenly has mines again.
Any energy signatures associated with their renewal?
It sounds like an reason security roll to me. If you wanted to take a turn to figure out what the hell that was.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Reason security. Assisted by sensors plus security. Like, hey, tactical computer? What the hell? You said that they blew up. What give? Difficulty of 2.
Right. Focus in observation.
Yep.
That observation, can I make a play for insight rather than reason?
You could, yeah. Like, you're not trusting the computer as much as you are your own instincts. Let go your conscious self and act on instinct. Sorry, wrong franchise. No one? Just me? Okay, I feel old now.
I'm going to...
Future's now, old man.
Sad face.
Is continuing to deal with the mines. Would hop like Commander Steel trigger?
It would.
Alright. So I will roll 2 dice here on what is now a 1. Generate 2 momentum.
Where are you? There you are.
Huh? No, not. There's problems with this.
Uh-huh. I believe you might have questions that may use momentum or threat.
It's self-replicating bladed mines.
Exactly.
Okay, so I have 2 dumb ideas now.
Oh wait. Fucking.
Wait, they're self-replicating mines,
They're self-replicating mines
and I don't
from
know.
last century.
Something
Which
speaks to me that
wasn't
there
a
may have
thing.
been a relevant test of Arlen. Are the mines sentient? Did they like develop cloaking or something?
I don't think so. No, because I picked them out on sensors.
I thought they were cloaked though.
They weren't. Yadin pointed out that if
Oh, okay.
we
That
would have
was
ran
my,
them on the
okay,
way
fine.
in if they were.
No, no. I picked out 3 cloaked vessels.
Yeah. Admiral, the mines
specific-
just re-replicated the cleared zone. That's a tech that is completely unexpected, to say the least, from these, given everything we've scanned about them.
I think
Wait.
someone's trying to hoodwink us.
Hold
Someone's
on a
trying to make
second.
us think we were perfectly safe, and we're not.
22nd century. Could this be some kind of temporal effect?
That's my
These are
guess.
These are mines that are already 2 centuries out of date.
I hate to ask. Pen,
Yeah, they're
did you mess
using
with any
a
time travel
technology.
lately?
I'd like to give you an answer to that. That's kind of classified.
Also, no time travel messed with us.
Thank you,
Nothing in
Lieutenant.
this dimension,
I'm up to 3 stupid ideas.
Admiral.
Say again, Commander.
Nothing in this dimension, Admiral.
I get the feeling someone's trying to kill us. Obviously, but like someone's targeting us. There's only so many people that come here.
They're not targeting you.
I think it is
Us, as in the ship
very possible
that's
they are
carrying
targeting
you
Captain
lot.
Penn.
I mean, just put us on a shuttle.
Starlight Swift tasking or ask any questions for the
Probably
enemy.
should ask questions. Are there any anomalous like energy signatures in relation to these mines? Things I wouldn't expect from the information I know thus far.
They're there.
Well, I know that though.
Smartass.
I know they're there, so I would expect them to be there. Seems like your hunch may be on, Admiral. I'm detecting trace amounts of tachyonic radiation from the
Not Chronoton.
mines. Not Chronoton, no.
No, you can use tachyon for time travel, Admiral.
That's true.
It's less direct, though. It would be harder to pick up on first scan.
Harder to detect, but also lower tech. That's something we could do easily. Or the Klingons. Or the Romulans, for that matter. But it's a weird way to throw a bunch of mines.
Yeah.
I mean, is that something? I have a thought. The fact of the matter is, I have a pin on these 3 Klingon vessels. I want to see if they do I want to see if they do something when those mines return. If you blow up another set of mines, make them think that, oh, we have no idea what's going on. maybe those cloaked ships are doing this.
Gaiden thinks for a bit because it's still Thrallic's turn resolving. Any other questions or swift task you wish to do?
I don't think so. No.
Can yeah, because it went you swift and you let the turn go over. It went to you can keep now because the other guys acted. That's why the things came back. So you could keep.
We could have kept last time, we just didn't choose to.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right, keeping this time, we just letting it go back to them.
Let's let it go back to them. As far as I'm concerned, if someone else wants to do something, go for it. But I'm not doing anything yet.
Ven, if you want to do something.
I guess. Well, the I want to keep a good scan on. Now that I know that those 3 Klingon vessels are there, I want to keep a good scan on them in case they do something. If they do something, I want to know what.
Diff 2, assisted by sensor signs.
Thank you much. I am spending a momentum for a 3rd die, unless testing a theory into practice.
It does, actually.
Okay, in that case, 2 momentum for a 4th die, and it's now only difficulty 1.
Yeah.
That's 6 hits on a difficulty 1 check, so we're at full mint.
Yeah, you are keeping a strong bead on them. I can tell you in more detail now that you're focusing on them. They are at station keeping, and the 2 fighters seem to be they're in a rear guard position. They're watching the flank. They're watching the rear of the primary ship. Mm-hmm. So they're not in a position to rush at you if they had a chance. It's more like they're making sure the cloak ship in front of them isn't surprised by some other cloak ship.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But is that a running thing? Like if they do something?
Yeah, you can have this as an ongoing advantage for sure.
Yeah, okay. Because that's those were the instructions the Admiral gave me anyway, I think. Was to keep an eye on them.
Oh. Sorry, I just read message in chat. All right. I believe the turn goes to them unless Ven's swift tasking. Something happens. Goes back to you. Only actor is Ryloff. As you're running toward the bridge and taking Trevorless and stuff.
Ree, kick him in the knee.
Yeah, our shields were down momentarily, so I'm gonna see if we can't get an internal security sweep.
Hey, damn it. Damn it. How do I click on things? There we go. That and that. It's a that roll, doy. Isn't it? Hell with it. Reason plus security. Difficulty of 5. Assisted by the ship's sensors plus security. It would be difficulty 4, but you're overriding. You're doing it on the run.
Yeah. Paranoia. Or paranoid. Paranoid
We've
I
dipped
am.
down by 1. Yeah. Oh, when the ship's traits kicks in, Starfleet. This is a Starfleet security ship.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay, I guess that's just gonna be broken as shit. Okay.
Please don't break things.
No, I was trying to open a sheet and it was doing the thing where it would only let me shrink it rather than make it larger.
Oh.
And it's like, no, I need it to be larger. I need to see what I'm doing. Is it a reason? I'm a very reasonable person. That is a lie. Guerrilla tactics. If that.
At complication increase.
Okay, so not what they're doing. Investigative techniques.
Yeah.
To find. Yeah.
Yeah.
Constantly watching.
That would apply here, totally.
Okay, so it's a different 2.
I don't feel bad about the high diff roll anymore.
Find the hidden enemy at a Romulan. What do you think's gonna happen?
Bugga.
Give you a threat.
Okay.
And then there's the ship. Tragic.
Nah, damn you.
You're all welcome.
I was being a smartass waiting to the end, I'm not gonna lie. Huh. Huh. Like just now? When did that occur? Okay. Then how did... Then, did your scans not detect the captain's yacht for this vessel?
The what?
The captain's yacht for this vessel.
I didn't know the ship had one.
That is not the question.
Let me see. So I have not detected the captain's yacht in system, then.
Feel free to check your handout. That's what you scanned. It's kind of hard to do active scans when you're like running down a hallway.
Yeah.
Yep. My handout. I'm straining my eyes on this. I don't see it.
Right. About the same time that impact was made with various mines, the captain's yacht was launched, and it appears that a Karen life sign was the one that did that.
Well, we
It
are
should
near
still be
to
in
the
this
primary
vicinity,
planet of the system. It could be that they're hiding out there.
I would advise we find that vessel. There's no other unexpected life signs, GM? I will spend the one I've got for that, because I made a float.
Whoops, sorry. Well, wrong person. There you go. Right person.
Okay. Which in turn means this combat's jury rig only affects those within this vessel, correct?
Yeah.
So it should not affect an individual on the captain's yacht, which should technically be using the ship's computer. Or is it using its own computer? I don't know how a captain's yacht works.
It's its own vessel. It's a special shuttle, essentially.
So it has its own independent systems, which means we
Yep.
didn't jury rig into those, which means he can't hear us, fortunately. Which means they're probably not aware we know. But we need to find that ship. That will probably have the answers we want. I am not sure if the Admiral knows what a current is.
I have been briefed, and I am really confused how an Iconian automata got aboard my ship.
They do that. Sometimes.
Suddenly reminded of the Allen units.
Oh, I've met
He
them.
mutters to himself.
Is that on me? I don't know what an Allen unit is. Rylov doesn't anyway.
Well, Penn does.
Yeah. Shall I continue heading to the bridge, or should I assemble a team for potential pursuit?
If we find that vessel and he's still in it, I'm just having it destroyed. If he's escaped from it and we can capture him, I want him captured. Or whatever it is, captured. That synth isn't getting away. And I'll point out as a sort of lore point, to all the Starfleet officers, that is unbecoming of an officer to refer to an artificial intelligence as a synth or synthetic like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
And even David Tabin would have been taught that's not a thing you say to an artificial intelligence, because there are life forms that are robots or androids and so on, not just Sung types. There's other ones. Synth is kind of an accepted derogatory.
I mean, I was
Even
definitely
even if synth wasn't a derogatory term on its own, contextually he was saying it like it was an epithet.
Yeah. And it's a Starfleet admiral uttering it. It's one of those like, you're supposed to be like Dudley Do-Right. You're not supposed to talk like that. So, that said, new round. You guys acted. The other side acted last, so you guys get that first. Oh, at this point, Ryloff, then, and Asa will be able to enter into the scene onto the bridge. Isaac Kampf will finally be able to be of help because he was trying to get up here this whole time. Oh. Yep. So what do you guys do? Player side gets sacked. You can also ask the Admiral to do something because he can try to help. But right now, he's kind of giving you your marching orders. But whether or not you push back on them or give him other ideas, that's up to you guys.
First things first. Between me, the medical department, and Tapin, can we all of these injured officers and if need be, take them off the bridge?
You could organize that as your combat action. You could basically use the advantage of medical team to try to cycle out the injured and either get people back on their feet if they can, or at least cycle out so that way new officers can take their place.
That's what I was thinking.
Would I be doing that as an assist? Would I be?
You could use your turn as an assist.
If you wanted to. If you have something else in mind, I'm sure I can do something.
No, I mean you already justified it with me, and I don't really have anything else to do. I mean, that looks like a nice chair to sit in.
Sit in security and start firing phasers?
No.
I am in awe of Thralick's martial abilities. I'm not challenging Thralick's position.
Okay.
Thralick is maybe the only Starfleet officer who I will do as I am told by.
Your own mom was a Starfleet officer.
Yeah, but that's... I would listen to her, but that's a problem that y'all haven't fixed, is it?
You're getting there. Things have gotten in the way.
Uh, control medicine difficulty.
Doctor is in Alcaran custody.
Control plus medicine difficulty 3. Taben, you can totally assist. The medical team advantage is not bringing down the difficulty, but they're making it such that you can do it to a group of people in one go.
Yeah, I was gonna say we are using it to. Yeah. Okay. It's only diff 3. I spent my determination earlier this game, so how about 1 threat and 2 momentum for 4 dice?
Okay.
Physiology is a focus.
I'll take that. And I'll take the X's off because they are replaced. As those ones are cycled out, medical team informs the people who are supposed to take up their posts. It's like, hey, in case someone hasn't told you, get up to the bridge and take your station. Oh, okay. And off they race. And with a Starfleet sort of drilled training, people start sitting into their chair.
Yeah.
The guy who, one person runs up to Tactical, looks at Thralick, nods, and then moves to an auxiliary station. Like they just cede the station to you. Like, nope, not fighting you on that. Saw the pips and went, nope. This guy runs over the pen, just kind of nods and sits down in the chair.
Yeah, I was totally picturing in my head like a tracking shot on Asa. The door opens and she steps out and immediately begins, oh, grab him. He needs this. You two over here, take him away. Da da da. And as it slowly pans backwards through the bridge, revealing all the things happening at once.
Now, for any action being done on the bridge, it is presumed that the starship crew will be assisting you because the bridge is now fully staffed and the ship can now communicate with itself.
Good. Right then.
As a note, this is the medical station. This is the science station.
You might want to use your minor since you're on the bridge just to move to a relevant station so you're there next turn, Aza.
Use my minor to what? I'm sorry.
Just move to maybe the medical station or something. So.
Yeah, why don't I do that? Is the medical station back here on a galaxy glass? Sure.
Okay. The medical person who steps in just kind of nods and goes, "Counselor." And you can see the whole display in the back. You see that there's a bunch of casualty reports, damage control teams, and stuff like that.
Yeah, Asa will, this is probably next turn stuff, but Asa will take over directing the first response teams.
Do you guys wish to keep the initiative? Also, Yaden doesn't stop Taben from sitting in that chair. It's like, if anything, he gives a kind of. Also note, by this point, the Admiral's no longer pinned to the chair. People have been able to safely extract that from him.
I have an idea for an action, so I think I'm going to keep.
Sure. It'll cost 2. Boop.
So this is playing into 2 traits that Pend has, which is Master Strategist and tried and tested due to his time as a quote-unquote spy.
Mm-hmm.
Am I able to take the information we've gained, the size of what a captain shop would be, basically assemble all the information we've got and what I've talked about with Trailblazer to formulate where the Karen would have taken the captain's yacht.
I'll save us the back and forth. Insight security diff 0.
Yeah, because I'm pretty decent at this one.
Yeah, you have an advantage because Admiral Trailblazer basically gave you an info dump that was kind of the point of him talking to you, as a hey, you have an advantage in knowing a lot more what's going on than you should. Someone's actually willing to talk to you and tell you stuff. And your traits basically reduce this difficulty to 0, despite this Karen's attempts to be sneaky.
Trying to think, could I spend my determination to create an advantage?
You could.
Could the advantage be that that he may have shared something maybe off screen that makes sense now, that whether the Karen aboard the captain's yacht would need to actually be terminated, or something that could be done with just destroying the ship and not the occupant?
How do you mean? Sorry, I didn't follow.
So is it a case of, well, the advantage I'm trying to create is when I make this roll, is it a case of I would have to destroy the captain's yacht with the occupant on board, or whether I could destroy the yacht and just by itself and capture the occupant?
I see what you're asking. Yeah. Give me insight security. We're largely just comp checking here. Okay. And also, you're getting momentum out of it.
Well, yeah, I'll spend the determination for that advantage creation.
Yep. I'll take that.
Do I have a mission directive for this? Because that's catching an enemy agent, but that's...
Capture the Karen.
Yeah.
Basically. That was Yaiden's order. Although, capture that synth is probably what you could say it that way too, because he said that. But...
Yeah, I'm probably not going to say simp, considering the fact that I'm also on the side of Myth, who's trying to gain recognition.
Yeah, so. Myth would be proper pissed with him.
So I'll spend a threat for a reroll.
Okay.
I technically have a reroll. I spent that one correctly.
Holy hell.
I still technically succeeded.
It still succeeds. Holy hell. That roll.
That's how you fail forward.
Jeebus.
Alright.
I don't think I've failed so hard on a roll and still technically succeeded before. Like, to that degree.
It's honestly kind of impressive.
And
your info.
And would that solve our current situation?
That would be a momentum spend, actually.
Yeah, I'll spend.
There you go. That answers the question.
Yeah.
In multiple ways, I hope.
Yeah, I figured as much, considering you're specifying that it's he's, and yeah.
Yeah.
Would I be I think I've got another medal to create an advantage. 1 second.
Whoopsie. I'm okay.
So I'd like to spend the Starfleet Medal of Honor to create 2 bonus momentum to spend on the advantage of maybe not an absolutely pinpoint placement of them, but good enough that if I ordered a strike at this location, we're very likely.
Yeah. If you turned it into an area attack, essentially, you'd guarantee a hit. Well, not guarantee it. You'd guarantee it's in the right area that you're shooting at.
Okay. Then with tactical voice, I'm going to spend 1 momentum.
And I'll note that the reason this still works with the Admiral is that you are essentially the XO of the ship until the Admiral says otherwise, because you're the senior most officer on the bridge, and the Admiral's like, no, I'm not stopping you.
Commander Thralic, please type in these coordinates up on the Class K planet below, and make sure it's a sweeping area attack.
Yes, sir.
And I look towards the Admiral. That's the location it should be.
Sometimes you have to punch in the dark to hit what's hiding.
And yeah, I'm essentially directing the commander to area whichever weapon you see fit.
You could spread with torpedoes. That would do it too.
Or,
Wait, are we firing magic missile into the darkness? Is that literally what we're doing?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh my god.
If you think it's cloaked, then you want torpedoes because it's also going to have its shields down.
But yeah, I'm ordering the commander to basically strike an area to shoot a planet.
Just some random bit of planet, some canyon
but shoot
somewhere.
it right there. Yeah.
Yes, this very specific location. Just focus fire there, please.
Orbital bombardment, some canyon. Think like the Grand Canyon and up on like Mars, and up in the sky there's just a stream of death rushing through it. Like anything in that canyon's probably dead. Thankfully it's a Class K, so there's probably nothing in there.
I did this before. It was just to a demon army.
Yeah.
You see that bit of continent over there? Yes, Admiral. I don't want to anymore. Yes, Admiral.
Control security. I assume you're using the phasers?
What range are we at?
Close.
Yeah, I'll use phasers then.
So you're looking at control security difficulty 3. Are you dumping any more than just 1 power into the shot?
I'd say make it hurt.
Yeah, I'll dump full power into the shot.
Okay, so you get an additional 2 damage if you strike.
I'll be spending my medal to turn my assist into a crit.
Okay. Good thing it has improved hull integrity.
Oh, good to know. Focus in strategy and tactics. Leaning more on the tactics side of things here.
Yeah, because the captain's provided the strategy.
Relentless. Every inch of that target zone.
I'll take it, and I'll up the comp by 1. You might overdo it.
I might. Yeah, that's.
I mean, to be fair, I didn't order you to underdo it.
Sir, you want me to bombard a planet, sir? Yes, sir.
Hey, I can't get
people are bloodthirsty. Goddamn.
And to be fair, neither of us can get in trouble because there's an admiral on the bridge not telling us not to do it.
I mean, you
I'm
would
not
get obeying
bloodthirsty.
orders.
I'm like dirt thirsty or something.
Dirt
I'm shooting a
thirsty.
planet. Yeah. Uh, uh, all right, so one, and I will buy up to 4 dice to momentum and a threat.
Okay, so that's 2 and 4 momentum gained.
Oh, and the ship. Whoops, wrong thing. Da da da.
Oh, sorry.
Why
No, I clicked wrong.
Why am I doing so well when I'm rolling for you guys, but I do so crap when I roll for the back?
Because you like us.
Nah.
The thumbs on the
giveth,
scale.
the dice giveth, the dice taketh away.
I think we have one float
We
there,
pray
and maybe
harder
their
to our Lord
that
and
way.
Savior, Commander Varther. So,
This is a false lord. He hasn't been giving anyone their determination back.
because we haven't been praying hard enough.
Look, the Lord takes away.
I say we sacrifice one player to Varther, and his grace will be upon us.
Not a character.
Varder
Player.
works in mysterious
no.
ways.
Sacrifice a player. It's
Good,
exactly
good.
what it is.
That's a lot of threat, JM.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you added 2 extra to the hit. So wait. Oh no, I got it right. Da-da-da. Bang.
Yep.
That's 10 raw. Nothing blows up.
Versatile into piercing.
Nothing blows up.
Sink the one float into. What else could I buy? Bonus damage.
An energy signature of a modulated shield flickers.
Nothing blows up.
Nothing blows up though.
Okay.
What do you think they've been doing this whole time?
Got to spend
Tried
just
not to
some
blow
more.
up. Double tap.
Spend
Double tap.
3 of the momentum pool into piercing.
Say again.
3 from the pool into piercing.
So that minus is 6.
Yeah, plus the additional 4 from the versatile that I spent.
There is a surge of energy on the ground as a modulated shield is taking significant damage, and the target has suffered a breach.
Cool. Spend 2 swift task blanket fire.
You can't. That was me. That was my swift to direct you.
Oh, right.
But you have
Damn it.
multiple directs, don't you?
He's used both of them.
Oh.
So
Yeah, I'm the one
Living in a
with
Starfleet game and
redirect.
not a Klingon game.
and that was us keeping as well.
Yeah. All right.
But you know where they
Energy
are.
fluctuations. Specific location pinpointing now. Already a focused torpedo barrage.
New scene. As your target explodes. And all the mines phase out of existence.
So someone on the surface was bending reality to make the mines appear.
Seems like.
Was there another wishing well down there?
Hope not.
I love you, Brev, on the bridge. Comp for Rise on the bridge.
Con, continue on to Starbase 24.
With
Should
two
we
security
not ensure down there?
officers arriving on the bridge, I'll step back from the tactical station.
How's engineering looking?
A lot of chaos because the chief engineer is desperately trying to get his communication grid back up. He's very happy you got something going,
But yeah,
now
it's only going to last for another 3 scenes. So
yeah, it's one of those like he does as much as he can with those 3 scenes, and he basically without really realizing, without really taking into account that you're one of the prisoners, he just sees gold pips you over there.
I hope. I'm also gonna see if I can, and while I'm over there, speed up their computer systems and by any percentage point.
You may attempt a reason plus engineering opposed as you're working down there. Something you might notice something in there.
Oh God.
Fast thinker.
Yeah.
I don't think I know my ship can apply because this ain't my ship.
It's true.
And should we not verify that the Karen is indeed gone?
Tinkering, technical insight, or sabotage.
Sabotage.
Oh, I hate this.
Yep. I think I know what's going on here.
Starcross, double my focus range.
Okay.
Crap, I already did that, and oh, but you're out of threat. Sweet. When was the last time I did something silly like this?
Lieutenant Relev's right, Captain Pend. It may be to our benefit to figure out who exactly tried to attack us and capture them if they're still hiding down there. This feels like a ploy to me.
Well, we can leave that to the senior staff, and they can internally sweep and externally sweep.
They could have. You think they may have beamed aboard?
It's possible. I probably need to give you some form of a explanation, so we may need to speak in private.
Ven, over there on science. Scan that planet. Find that target. Ryloff, Kampf, Thralic. Scan this ship. If this thing's on here, I want it found.
Yes, Admiral.
Yes.
Milestone unspent, and for that time when I did predictive modeling on the damaged Sabita fleet to try to optimize the repair times, I'm doing repairs on another ship that is I'm not
I'll
familiar
take that
with.
under this, yeah.
Okay.
And counselor, given the circumstances, I think little Tabin over there might be served being in the daycare rather than on the bridge. Wouldn't you agree?
Is it the Admiral says this?
Yeah.
I look at him like arms crossed with the sourest look ever, like, dude, I saved your life. What are you talking about?
Admiral, you would do well to know that I've won at least one war using and she's gonna trail
Oh
off for a
God,
minute.
don't say that.
He saved your life. I think he can sit in the chair. It's not like the daycare is any safer than the bridge. Either we die or we win.
Fine. You write the report to medical, probably. Walks into the ready room.
Pen just holds
Were-
up 4
were-
fingers at Aza. That's 4 times now.
Were you about to justify me being on the bridge with child soldiers?
That was the joke, yes.
think so.
Ensign
How's
Ven
that roll
just
going,
turns,
Ireland?
and Ensign Ven just turns to the science officer next to him. He says, "The admiral just had to argue terms with a kid, and lost."
Ensign, you want a career? I'd leave it alone.
GM, I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
So there were a bunch of wounded Starfleet officers on the bridge, right?
There were, yeah, but they've been evacuated.
Any chance that in the concussions and the shaking bridge of getting attacked and falling on the
no.
ground, was there like a pip that went running away?
That's an
The
actual
momentum to make that
offense.
happen. Spend a momentum to make that happen.
Insight Command Diff 2, maybe you noticed some?
If they
You
got
just took
bars,
one
even
off
better.
someone's collar.
No, the bars would be Yaden. He would have
Oh, okay.
noticed those are gone.
He would have checked when he woke up. That's like, do I
Who's
have
still
all my
bars?
bars?
I'll
Oh,
settle
good, I'm
for
still
some
informed.
stripes if that's all I can get. Insight Command.
Oh.
Intuition is a focus? Like, I know where they might have rolled on the bridge.
Say again, sorry?
Intuition is a focus?
Yeah, sure.
Take a momentum. Because again, I'm a child. I'm terrible at stats. Haha. I have succeeded at every roll tonight only because of critting. Like, I basically... I put all 4 of them on.
Again,
Yes.
technically an offense.
It's not the worst thing I've done today. I got onto a secure Starfleet bridge.
Accurate.
We are a group of federal prisoners who are currently running a military grade ship. I think the child wearing the funny costume is pretty low on the list of problems.
Also, I'm basically a member of Starfleet Medical. Now I'm basically a captain of Starfleet Medical.
Wait a minute.
Don't think that's how that works, but
No.
And yes, Vin, this is the second time I've beaten
And
you at
yet-
something, making it to captain.
Arlen, how's your roll going?
Okay.
We're just buying time while you're
mouse-
assembling your roll.
Yeah, milestone spend. Spend that back to nothing's perfect. It's only better than it was. And 5 threat. Have fun.
You better believe I'm gonna try to use those. Fortunately, it's 5 threat. That's a bad number for me. 'Cause I can't use it all.
Oh, 1 momentum and 4 threat.
Ah, damn it. Hold
Okay.
on. Okay, so that one wasn't there. So I buy 2 dice.
And I crit on 10s and lower.
At least I got a free re-roll. Not that it helped.
Bold reroll. And
All crits.
one of those is 8. They're all crits. This is a star cross.
So that's 10.
Versus my 5.
What do my Boolean eyes see?
Do my Boolean eyes see?
I'll tell you in a moment. Ryloff, what are you up to? Ryloff is muted at the moment. He may not be able to respond.
Sorry, what? I'm here. Yeah. Hi.
So what are you doing on the bridge? The last order from the Admiral before he left with Pend was to help Thralic and Comp find the synth, as it were, the Karen, if he was aboard the ship or not.
Mm-hmm.
And Penn seems to be talking with the Admiral about something. And
Are we
Tabin's
aware
now a
that this-
captain, in case you're wondering.
No.
Also,
we
I
aware that
like to
this-
think that they're not solid. They're 4 half pips.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're
He's
like,
a captain
they're
junior
like
grade.
lieutenant
Captain
junior grade pips. They're all, yeah.
hate
Are we
this.
aware of the computer system?
I love
issue?
that.
Say again, Ryloff.
Are we aware of what Arlen's finding with the computer systems?
About the computer systems.
Was he was finding sabotage of some kind?
Not yet.
Okay,
Although for 2 momentum, you could be made aware.
that sounds useful. Yes.
Okay, so you're basically forcing me to answer now. Yeah, so if the icebreaker warps, the improved warp drive and redundant systems are going to cause an overload and cause a warp breach. It's like someone jury rigged the redundant systems and to overload the improved warp drive system with a tachyonic overdrive module powered by a 0-point battery.
Oh, those are fun.
Well, all right then.
Right. So that
So-
being said,
So we have to unplug that carefully.
with any particular security sweep, then I would highly suggest one be done via sensors and the like, and one be done physically. Preferably both at the same time.
2 momentum, to create the advantage on the ant sensor and physical. I'll sweep to keep a lookout for this kind of technology.
Those would be rolls that you can create an advantage to make it easier to find that kind of tech, but
Yeah, just create an advantage to make it easier to find.
okay. Like here's what to look for. Here's the kind of tech you should be looking for.
Mm-hmm.
What do Thralic? Comp kind of nods and says, "That's a good plan."
Can I have a phaser?
He presses some buttons on his console. Wall behind you. And you see that the wall has popped loose, and that's where one of the emergency armory lockers are. And you are huh?
I already knew where they were. It's just being polite.
Yeah. And you notice that it's the locker he unlocked though was the Type 2 locker.
Mm-hmm. I'm not needing anything bigger than that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Commander, I am willing to go through physically while you would handle the scanning, or the Lieutenant Commander can handle scanning, either or. Though
Yes,
I feel
Lieutenant,
I
take up a physical sweep of the ship. Get internal security teams moving. Lieutenant Commander, get me those scans of internal ship systems. Ideally, a scan of the computer systems as well.
I'm Commander. He starts tapping away.
back in the thing.
I just got here.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in the Admiral's quarters, the Admiral's ready room.
So, you're coming across what seems to be the newest problem we're going to encounter. It's
I thought you stopped the Iconians from getting in here in the first place. That was the whole reason you were out there.
I'm going to reveal some stuff, but there is still small things that I can't reveal. Not yet, anyway. But I will reveal as much as I can. Is that acceptable?
No, but carry on.
We stopped the fleet coming through the gate. Whilst on board an Iconian vessel to recover data and technology we can use against them for further incursions, we encountered something the Iconians had created and got through the gate. A reality device. It's currently on board the Achilles with Admiral Trailblazer overwatching it.
What the hell's 10th Fleet doing here as part of this?
Well, that's a discussion between the Alcarans and Aldemona and what's happening with the Iconians. Like I said, there's certain things I can and can't say for reasons. But from my discussions with the Admiral, it seems certain agents, Karen agents for the Iconians, may have swayed events in certain places, if you catch my drift.
So spies, basically.
Yes.
Saboteurs.
Some in the Klingon Empire for recent events, and some in the Romulan Empire for certain recent events. And there's a high possibility, as you've just found out firsthand, that we may be dealing with a few ourselves. They specifically want the crew of the Achilles because of what we found. And that's why the crew's memories were wiped.
Section 30. Okay. Cool. Great.
The reason
Wonderful.
why I know is because of training and other aspects, but that's why I'm trying to draw attention to myself, and hopefully the crew gets off with a slap on the wrist.
Well, if you want to use yourself as bait, we can put you down on that planet to start hunting that thing and finding what's left of the yacht, and I carry on without you. Or we all go together to Starbase 24 and hope we can repel whatever new attack they have for us. Because if they can get onto a Starfleet security ship, then we need to treat this like a changeling attack.
That's essentially what it's going to probably end up being. I do want to try and draw some of their attention, so I may have to. You can sell it to the other admirals and the committee however you wish, but escape, drop off, sell it however you want.
Well, I would offer my captain's yacht, but it's been stolen, so the best I can give you is a shuttle and a mission to secure material and evidence regarding the case. Can't really arm you too heavily because, well, you are a person under suspicion. And if you're found outside of the mission area, well, you know the rest. I won't bore you with the various regulations and laws you'd be breaking, but maybe that can draw the attention onto you when you're chasing whoever did this to my ship. Already I'm getting reports that someone tried to blow us up with my own warp core.
Well, leaving the rest of my senior staff on board your ship will serve you quite well. They've had extensive experience with dealing with Iconians. Any extra experience you're going to have here and at Starbase is going to be needed.
You know, I always thought the history of you going on solo missions was just someone in the 10th Fleet trying to puff up their officers. Maybe trying to evoke that old Kirk era of captaincy. Didn't think it was true. Especially since this stunt might get you killed. Not saying I'm going to stop you, I'm just pointing out I'm surprised that things like this actually happen.
Would you be surprised that this has happened for a good portion of my career?
No, at this point I'm not going to be surprised by a whole lot anymore. Assemble what you need. You have your orders, Captain.
Understood. I'll just inform the commander and she can take over my duties as your XO, depending on what condition yours is in.
As this conversation goes on, then You notice your contacts are moving closer to you. And they've decloaked and powered on their shields.
Admiral?
You call the
Or,
Admiral
I'm sorry.
from the...
Sorry. Commander?
Yes, Ensign?
Yes, Ensign? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Thralic. Sorry.
The contacts are moving.
Yeah, I was assuming we were rewinding that slightly.
No, that was Conf literally having a mistake. What? Oh, sorry, right. I'm not used to a commander being here. He's like, whoops, sorry, go ahead.
The contacts have decloaked. They're on approach and have raised shields.
Time to intercept.
5 minutes.
All right. Ensign, get me identification on those ships.
Yes, Commander.
Ideally, I'd like to know their captains and houses.
Yes, Commander.
Reason con difficulty 1.
Okay. Gonna spend a momentum for a third die. Sensor operations focus.
Ship helps with computers con.
Gross.
It's still technically a success.
Still hit it.
It is. I don't have to be happy about it.
True. True. Very true.
And get that name off it. There it is. Oh, I wrote it somewhere else. Fiddlesticks. Do.
The IKS Nakjesh House Tarkin. They're with Subkita.
Get me hailing frequencies.
And that will be the end of the episode.